All right, guys, welcome in. Let's hope the sound is working. I never know. I always get so nervous right before we hit the go button because, well, sometimes it doesn't work. But, guys, welcome in. We have made it. We've survived. We are on debate eve. Tomorrow morning, the debate. If you have not yet heard the time, I think it's 9 God's time. Let me double check. Is it 9 God's time or is it 8 God's time? I don't know why I didn't check that before I started.
It's 9 God's time.
9 God's time, ladies and gentlemen. Central Daylight Time, 9 a.m. That'll be 7 a.m. out on the West Coast, 10 p.m. in New York. Don't try to let me do math live on the air. Check your local listings. You haven't heard that in a while, have you? Guys, welcome in. We have a lot to cover today. We got a lot to cover because as part of doing the debate prep, we have to go through how we got here. We had to go through how we got here. It's not PM, it's AM, right? 8 a.m.
Yes. Okay,
someone in the comments said 8 p.m. And I was like, no, dog, 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Mountain Time, I guess. Anyway, check your local listings. You'll figure it out. But it's in the morning. It's in the morning. But part of this is we have to figure out how we got here. How on earth did we end up with a debate between Smoke Boy and the principal? And I have confirmed something, ladies and gentlemen. This was a hot topic earlier today in several of the group chats I was in. A lot of people were wondering, is this going to stream live on Candace's channel? So I inquired, and I asked the principal directly, but principal, is this going to stream live directly on your channel? Yes, my humble friend. Yes, it is going to stream live on my channel. A lot of people wondered whether it would or not because Patrick Bet David also has it on his channel, scheduled to stream live on his channel. I will caution you about watching it on the Patrick Bet David channel. We have no idea what kind of monkey business they do over there. I don't trust those people. I don't trust that show. I used to watch it a lot. I used to like it. I've changed. Well, no. I've not left the Patrick Bet David show. The Patrick Bet David show has left me. That's the polite way to say it. So things we're going to get into today. I'm going to give you a little background on debating in general. Go over the timeline, the offer timeline. We're going to do a timeline video. Oh, it's a compilation, guys. We're going to do a timeline video of the last couple of weeks. It's fun. It's going to be fun. We'll get into a little bit about the moderator himself, Patrick Bet David, and why he's terrible. And then we will actually want to go through a video that we've been talking about, we've been hinting about. I'll do this after we do the debate stuff. A video that retraces the steps of the alleged shooter. It retraces the steps of the alleged shooter in the immediate aftermath as filmed by a local. This wasn't an out-of-towner coming in and guessing. This was someone who said they knew where things happened. And there were a few little lines in the background that bear revisiting in light of all we've learned the last 11 months and 3 days. So we will go over that as well. And we're going to pull up a map and look at a few things. I'll let you in on a little secret we've been holding back for several months now. That's also in some of the photography that we see. We were able to find something quite a bit ago and just didn't know what to do with it, really. And so we'll talk about that as well. So buckle up. You'll only need the edge of your seat. We're going to have fun tonight. It's an earlier show than normal, so maybe I should say we're going to have fun this afternoon, taking advantage of the principal being off. Had a matinee show yesterday. The matinee shows, people love them. People love the time slot. I can't help it. They do. I know those of you who get used to this being an evening show day in and day out, sometimes when it is a matinee show, it messes with your time frame. But it allows some people on the other side of the world to watch live, allows people who maybe work evenings to watch live during the day, people that have family obligations in the evening can watch live. So we're going to try to do maybe one every week or two, a matinee type show. All right, are you ready? Because I have an opening statement that gives a little background for just how we got here. So with your permission, ladies and gentlemen, and this is your opening statement. Debates. Debates are part of American culture. They're part of who we are. Debates captivate audiences because they distill conflict into a pure and high-stakes spectacle of intellect, personality, and persuasion. At their core, they're gladiatorial contests, but Rather than picking up a sword and a shield, they're gladiatorial contests of words. Two minds locked in real time. They're forced to think. They're forced to adapt. They're forced to strike under pressure. Viewers crave debates. They love debates. Not really for the information as much as for the drama, the vulnerability, the chance to witness a stumble, maybe a brilliant counterpunch, or even a brief flash of authenticity, which feels lost in a lot of media these days. The format itself creates a great deal of suspense. It's like sport. It's like theater. Rules can constrain the debaters a little bit, but improvisation is where the best debaters truly shine. Improvisation rules the moment. We watch because debates promise revelation. They strip away all the prepared speeches, and they reveal true character under fire. We want to know who will freeze. We want to know who will exceed expectations and who resorts to things like deceit or cleverness to try to score cheap points. In an age of carefully curated content, a good old-fashioned live clash feels raw. It feels consequential. It invites the audience to judge, and judge not only the arguments, but also the people making the arguments. It's a combination of ideas and human drama. It's what makes debates so special. In America, debates are kind of foundational to who we are. It's foundational to government and culture. The nation's founding documents, for example, emerged from intense debate. The Federalist Papers, the Anti-Federalist Papers. They essentially were nothing more than extended debates in writing. The Constitution itself embeds this debate process. Congress is a deliberative debating body. The courtroom, it's just a formalized debate contest. Elections are contests of persuasion, often peppered with good old-fashioned debate. Free speech, the marketplace of ideas, they all assume that something akin to the truth can emerge from these types of collisions. Culturally, Americans have a long prized fascination with a skilled orator and a sharp exchange of ideas. From town halls to Senate floors to television studios, now to online podcasts, debate embodies the belief that any ordinary citizen can evaluate competing claims. We demand that power must justify itself through reason rather than mere authority. Abraham Lincoln and Stephen Douglas debated 7 times across the state of Illinois. That was for the campaign for the United States Senate back in 1858. Abraham Lincoln was a relatively obscure challenger from the upstart and relatively unknown Republican Party. He faced incumbent Democratic Senator Stephen Douglas. Each event was a single, grueling 3-hour-plus affair in front of large outdoor crowds. The subject was slavery's expansion into the territories. It was framed by Douglas's doctrine of popular sovereignty, and also Lincoln's insistence that the nation could not possibly permanently survive half slave and half free. If you judge the winner by who won the 1858 election, then Stephen Douglas won the debates. The Illinois legislature, which at the time was still choosing senators, voted to reelect Stephen Douglas. But even at the time, popular public perception and historical judgment, now looking back, pretty roundly awards Lincoln the lasting victory. Contemporary accounts and the subsequent publication of the debate transcripts demonstrate Lincoln's moral clarity, but also his rhetorical force. He was a very skilled debater. Lincoln lost the seat, but he gained national stature. And 2 years later, he won the presidency. John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon debated on September 26, 1960. That was in the presidential campaign. Kennedy and Nixon met in Chicago in a television studio, but it was viewed in people's living rooms all over the country. An estimated 70 million people tuned in. It was the first general election presidential debate broadcast live on television. The substance of the debate was domestic policy, but nobody remembers that. Nobody knows what the debate was about. The only thing they remember is the cultural earthquake that came out of the debate, and that was visual, not rhetorical. Kennedy appeared tanned, composed, camera ready, handsome. He wore a dark suit. He spoke directly into the lens. Nixon was recovering from illness. He didn't wear any makeup. He wore a light suit that many say blended into the background. He looked pale and sweaty. He looked terrible. Radio listeners judged Nixon the overall winner based on argument and experience. But television audiences, who vastly outnumbered radio listeners, overwhelmingly favored John Kennedy. The public perception of Kennedy's victory was based on poise and youth and mastery of this new medium of live television. Kennedy went on to win a very tight presidential contest. And then there was the very strange debates between William F. Buckley Jr. and Gore Vidal. Buckley and Vidal faced each other. There were a series of televised debates staged by ABC television during the 1968 party conventions. And in one of the clashes, the August 28 debate in Chicago during the Democrat convention, Buckley and Vidal began discussing the Vietnam War. They started talking about the political conventions. And they even ventured into American culture. And what began as a polite discussion quickly descended into personal warfare. The most memorable moment of the entire debate came when Vidal labeled Buckley a crypto-Nazi. Buckley responded by calling Vidal a queer, and he threatened to punch him. There was no formal winner, but ratings soared. People loved it. The public did not seem to mind at all that the event ceased being a contest of ideas and turned into blood sport for entertainment. Buckley later expressed regret. Vidal did not. He actually reveled in this newfound notoriety. Culturally, the debates are largely credited with kicking off the modern era of adversarial political commentary. You want to know what that is? Turn on any cable news channel. It marked a stark shift from deliberative argument toward spectacle. Debates have long been peppered with dishonest and tricky tactics. Even the classic encounters that preceded Buckley-Vidal in 1968 featured underhanded tactics. In the Lincoln-Douglas debates, for example, Douglas repeatedly painted Lincoln as an advocate of racial equality, which, at the time, shockingly, was an insult. It was designed to inflame white people. Douglas did not want white people in Illinois liking Abraham Lincoln. It didn't want to focus on Lincoln's limited opposition to slavery's expansion. Lincoln even engaged in a little bit of his own. He pressed Douglas into doctrinal corners that alienated Southern Democrats. He knew the political damage it would cause, and he knew it would serve his overall larger political purpose down the road. Even in the 1960 Kennedy-Nixon debate, preparation itself became a form of asymmetric battle. Kennedy's team meticulously managed everything about his appearance, the lighting, the clothing, even his rest, while Nixon just sort of showed up. He refused makeup, and he was not very well recovered from an illness, and he was visually compromised. It was an unintentional self-sabotage, but it undoubtedly was strategic negligence, and it could have changed the election. Buckley and Vidal, they changed the whole game. They elevated personal attack to high art. Vidal systematically baited Buckley with rehearsed insults and insinuations about his character and his courage. Buckley's explosive response crossed into crude ad hominem, and it undercut his conservative image. But these maneuvers, like scare tactics, image manipulation, and deliberative provocation, they're not rare. They're planned, they're plotted, they're schemed, they're rehearsed. They're part of the art of modern debate, and they reveal the line between legitimate persuasion and manipulation. And they reveal that it's always been fundamental to American debates. And whether we agree with the tactics of modern debate or not, they're here to stay. We see them nearly every single time two or more people line up in front of an audience to debate. And they remind us that while debate may be fundamental to the American idea, debates are exciting because they're unpredictable and dangerous. That is your opening statement. And we have a debate tomorrow that I think could be both unpredictable, exciting, and dangerous for both of the combatants, Candace Owens and Smoke Boy. And the reason I say that is because they're both very bright. I think you would be remiss to underestimate either one of them. I see predictions from both sides. Oh, he's going to mop the floor with Owens. Oh, she's going to mop her basement floor with him. Guys, they're smart. They're sharp people. I have no doubt that there is not a single person on the planet who knows this case inside and out better than Candace Owens. Period. End of story. Nobody's put more effort into it. She has a team behind her. All combined, they have thousands of hours of research. They know where every exhibit is. They've memorized them. They've memorized every statement everybody's made. I mean, Candace's true genius is this ability to catalog information and rapidly access it. I've never seen anything like it in person. You mention something and she's immediately, you can see her going through the card catalog in her mind, and she'll pull out a card and she'll start talking about it. It's remarkable to witness. Andrew is likewise pretty brilliant himself, if we're being honest. He has kind of made a spectacle of debates, but as we just discussed, debates are sort of a spectacle in and of themselves. Sure, he can go on a podcast and debate with some girls from OF and make fun of them and have a good time, but he can also go up against some of the true heavyweights in modern debate and politics. And he can hold his own, and he can sometimes win. So I don't doubt that tomorrow will be a cataclysmic clash of debate titans, particularly around the area of who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why, and whether or not the state can prove their case against Tyler Robinson, and whether or not some of the other theories have any merit at all. But what we don't know is what are the cheap tactics that will be deployed. And I don't say cheap meaning insulting cheap. I'm just using it as a modifier, cheap tactics. We don't know what's going to happen, but we can look at things that have happened up to this point for some sort of insight. Part of that is the offers of money. The offers of money. I want to compare something. Zach Costello made a good point on X the other day. Maybe it was yesterday. He said, I want to offer Joe Rogan $1 million to come talk to him on his show. And if he refuses, then he's scared. Well, that's kind of a cheap tactic, because what if Joe Rogan doesn't want Zach Costello on his show and he doesn't need $1 million? I would argue that he doesn't need $1 million, whether or not he wants Zach. I don't know. But just because you refuse to engage somebody doesn't mean you're scared of them. It might mean they're a waste of time, or you don't even know who they are. I get a lot of offers to talk to people on their podcasts and engage with them and jump in X spaces, which I did last night for 5 hours, by the way. I did not intend to do that. Much to Miss Coleman's chagrin, she was not amused. But I did spend 5 hours on an X space last night. I intended to jump in for like 2 or 3 minutes to figure out what the heck was going on with some YouTube issue. But I ended up staying on the phone till midnight. And I just took any and all comer. Anybody that wanted to ask a question, go ahead. And I took some easy questions. I took some hard questions. I took some things I hadn't thought about in years. People brought names up of people I'd talked to or represented or been affiliated with that I hadn't talked to in years and forgotten all about them. I had to kind of like think for a second. Who are these people? And I didn't mind doing it. Because everybody was polite, respectful, and it was a good time. But that doesn't mean that every single time somebody wants to chat that I just have to drop everything I'm doing and jump on their platform, or that I'm scared. It could be just that I'm busy. I have a lot going on. And think of me. I'm kind of small. When you get into Candace Owens, she's kind of huge. I mean, Candace could do a speaking event every day if she wanted to. I'm sure she has at least 365 offers a year. She probably has offers on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, that's how famous she is. That's how in demand she is. She's one of the premier political personalities of our lifetime. Bigger than people that challenge her regularly and demean her. Bigger than Ben Shapiro. Bigger than, I don't know, any of the other people on the other side. I mean, she's just in demand. And so that somebody would come up and start being pesky and say, I demand you debate me. That's kind of nonsense. That's Bush League. So they started throwing money at her. And we'll go through the offer timeline in just a minute. It's pretty hilarious when you look at it in total. It's really funny. But you go through the offer timeline and you start to realize what was happening. They were trying to, in my opinion, make it look like they thought she would never say yes, I think. And they were trying to make it look like she's so scared that we'll put an obscene amount of money on the table and she won't even accept it. I wonder if she'd have held out for another couple of weeks, maybe a month, how high that number would have gotten. It eventually got up to 300,000, and she accepted the money. And I don't blame her. If somebody wants to pay 300,000 to come on my show, I'm going to accept the money. I may not accept it if I don't want to talk to them, but if I accept the money, that's mine. You offered. You're basically paying for an advertisement at that point, and I'll have you on. If I accept it. But if I don't, that doesn't mean I'm scared. It might just be I have better things to do, and I need the 300,000. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't. But I want to go through this timeline because I think it's pretty exposing of everything that happened. We first show up with this. This was all the way back on July 4th. Brian Atlas, who himself has a podcast, offering $50,000 to Candace Owens to debate Andrew Wilson on my podcast. Happy to discuss terms, bring in additional moderator, etc. Then he tagged Candace. Andrew said $50K. That's July 4th. I mean, it's only August 13th. How long could someone be scared? I mean, I don't even know that she saw that. 4 days later, July 8th, we had cranked it up. We'd cranked it up a notch. This Brian Atlas was offering $60,000 to debate Andrew Wilson on his podcast. $60,000 to Candace to debate. So from July 4th to July 8th, we'd increased the pot $10,000. Okay, but that's on his platform. Maybe she doesn't want to go on your platform. The next day, it had cranked up to $70,000. This is by July 9th. So Candace at this point is increasing the pot $10,000 a day, and I don't even think she's aware this is happening. I don't think she's aware it's going on. I'll bump my offer to $70,000 to debate Andrew Wilson on my podcast. Do you accept? This is what fear looks like. This is the Bush League nonsense I'm talking about. Just because some guy who runs a podcast that's famous for having, low-end thoughts on it, and then having people come in and argue with them, maybe that's not the environment she wants to be in. Maybe she doesn't even know it exists. She'd been on the podcast, so at least she's aware the podcast exists. She wasn't the thought, by the way. I think she was on there with Charlie Kirk arguing with the thoughts. But it had cranked up from 50,000 to whatever that was, 80,000, 70,000 in 5 days. July 11th. They still can't get her attention, so now they've cranked it up to $80,000. But there's a catch. Andrew Wilson is now throwing in his own money or someone's money on his own behalf. $80,000 to debate Candace Owens to debate Andrew Wilson on my podcast. Do you accept? That's July 11th. I will match it $160,000. Well, now you're getting into real money. You have, I don't know what's happened here. I can't make myself big again. Now you're getting into real money. So let's go to July 13th. July 13th. Make the screen big since I can't make myself big. Now we go to July 13th. Oh, no, I can't even make that big. I don't want to be small the whole time. Hang on a second. No. Anyway, July 13th, they have cranked it to 90,000.
Hey guys, hold please. I think we had a quick disconnect. So give me like 2 seconds and I think we'll come right back. Okay, guys, he's loading back in. Hold with us like 2 seconds. There we go. He's back.
We're back. I have no idea what happened. StreamYard crashed on my end. Now we're up to $90,000. I'm assuming Andrew's 80 is still on the way. And being that that's the case, that's up to $170,000. That's July 13th. So just in 9 days, we've kicked this thing all the way up from 50,000 to now 170,000. This is the 90,000 from Brian Atlas. Don't forget that Andrew had thrown in his own 80. So we're up to $170,000. That's a lot of money. It's a whole lot of money. July 15th. July 15th. We're again 11 days into this thing. We're now up to $100,000 from Brian Atlas. If we believe that Smoke Boy intended to keep his 80,000 in the pot, we're up to $180,000. Roughly 3 times the national median income, $180,000. Now we go to July 16th. Now we go to July 16th. And Andrew says it's actually now $200,000. $200,000. And that's where it remained for a little while, July 15th. So 11 days, we've gone from 50,000 to 150,000. Now, I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't it make sense that Candace was sitting out just watching the pot grow every day? Why would she respond? Every day she sat around, it got $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 more. She might have been smart to keep quiet and see if it got to $1 million. I don't know. She decided to jump in when it hit 300, but so be it. Then, in late July, this is, August 4th, Andrew Wilson comes on and says, you think I need TPUSA money for $300,000 LMFAO. Now that's funny. Brian Atlas committed 100 himself as he wants it on his platform. We aren't exactly poor, bro. Okay, he's a rich boy. He's loaded. 200 is nothing to this guy. That's like a weekend out. That's a couple of restaurant fees and a Bugatti. That 200 is nothing. He's rich. He ain't exactly poor, bro. Ain't exactly poor, bro. And it remained at 300,000 for a while. And so Candace finally jumped in when Andrew had gone to Joe Rogan to say that she was scared, that he'd offered her 300 and it was scared. So she said, okay, for 500, I'll do it. And this is Andrew's counterback. My counterback, 500 is fine. I will crowdfund it. Whoa, what's this crowdfund business? I thought you weren't exactly poor, bro. If you ain't poor, you got a $500,000 sitting around, right? That's what I'm told. He's rich. $1 million, actually, so I get 500 as well. Ho, 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 ho. That's a $700,000 turn in fortune for him. That was his counter. I was going to pay you 200. Now I'm going to make 500. He's now positive 700,000. He's net 700,000 gain here. Travel there is fine on neutral ground. Can't be her studios. That's a ridiculous ask. Well, that means he's scared. And then so and so on. He names a moderator and all that. But this was funny to me. He went from all this false bravado about how rich and powerful and smart and sharp and all this stuff he was. I don't need 200 grand. That's for poor people. I ain't exactly poor. If I was poor, I'd be worried about 200. But me, Andrew, Smoke Boy, how much do you think these Marlboros set me back every day? I'm not worried about 200 grand. And she's like, fine, we'll do it. He's like, can I crowdfund my share so I can also get paid, please? I'll crowdfund for you, and then I want to crowdfund for me as well. Sounds like you're poor, bro. Sounds like you're exactly poor. That is not what a rich person would do. Sounds like what a poor person would do. I'll offer you money, but first let me go raise it. That sounds a little crazy, in my opinion. And that's kind of where we left it. Then she came back and said, no, I'll do it for the 300. She didn't say you can't crowdfund any of it. He said, fine, I'll do it for 300. Fine, we'll do it at your place. Fine, we'll use a different moderator. Well, Michael Knowles dipped out, so fine, we'll use a different moderator. But the lesson here is, I think, what we can expect in the debate. This is a fundamentally dishonest person. I believe that. He paraded around as if money was not a thing. Money's very much a thing. In fact, he wants more of it. He wants to use his appearance on the Candace Owens podcast in order to crowdfund himself a nice little, what a lot of people would consider a nice little retirement. $500,000 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And he intends to get as much of it as he can. Now, what has this looked like in terms of the last few months? Well, let's go back and look at Smoke Boy's Smoky Bravado, because we have it now on video. We have it on video. Here is Smoke Boy doing Smoke Boy things.
Landscape. I ran into one, Erica Kirk. Had a nice long conversation with her as well. I walk over to Erica, fucking grab her, and I gave her a big hug. Told her that I was really sorry for what happened to her. So all these like Baron Coleman and Candace Owens and all of them, I will be happy to go answer all of your questions that you have, as long as we can do it live. You have to now come. Great, Andrew's compromised. Well, maybe you should have your heroes challenge me to a debate, and let's see who's compromised. Now they got to come to me. The whole thing is it's done. Your champions are going to get. I'm happy to answer all of your questions. I'm happy to go on your show and have a nice little shitty chat with you. You're happy to do it.
Smoke Boy. It's Smoke Boy doing Smoke Boy things. So again, here's the thing. I don't know that I knew who this guy was at the time. He's throwing my name around acting like I'm scared to debate him. I don't think on June 29 I'd ever heard of it. If I had, I'd forgotten. I had no idea this podcast existed. I had no idea he smoked on it. I had no idea it's such a foul mouth. His face is swollen like a drunk in a video he did today. I know that face, Andrew. I was a drunk. I know what a swollen alcoholic face looks like. You have one. I would highly recommend you join our community here and celebrate sobriety with so many of us who've made that decision. But this is all the way back in June.
And then when you go on, and I absolutely eviscerate one of you stupid motherfuckers after the next stupid motherfucker, making tons of cash while I do it for my own chat, who's going to enjoy watching me do this, your heroes over and over and over again. All you're going to be able to do is cry. That's it. You're just going to cry in the chat. Oh, my God. Oh, good, Andrew. Oh, God. It was blah. For some reason, I think you're going to go cry and hide under the little bed. Isn't that funny? Bring it on. I'm here to answer all of your questions. What questions do you got? When can we do the lives? When would you like me to come on your show to officially answer your questions?
It's just a strange posture from someone I'd never heard of. Like, can you imagine if I was talking that way about Joe Rogan right now? That Joe Rogan's scared. He won't come through me. We'll do it live, Rogan. We'll do it live, Joe Ro. I know you're scared. I know you can't handle this. The humble host. Huh? He say, who? Who is talking like that? Who are you talking about? I do have a kind of a gatekeeping question here is, let's say he was famous. What connection does he have to this case? Why can't Andrew Colvett do it live? I'll debate him live tomorrow. Why can't Blake Neff do it live? Why can't Mikey McCoy do it live? Why can't Justin Strife do it live? Why can't Tyler Boyer do it live? Why can't Erica Kirk do it live? Why send out some alcoholic, foul-mouthed, out-of-shape doughboy? What is that supposed to do? Why not? If you want to have these discussions, I'm all ears. I'll be happy to have these discussions. I'd love you to answer questions that I have. Andrew doesn't know the answer to any of those questions. He wasn't there that day. He didn't work there. I just think it's very strange. You're watching the money roll in now. That noise you hear are coins hitting Candace Owens' piano lesson fund for her kids.
We have right now a $200,000 offer for Candace Owens to debate her theories on Charlie Kirk with your.
Look at Dave Smith's face while this is happening. Pierce Morgan and whoever the gal is, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with either one of them. Watch Dave Smith's face.
Truly, I will say publicly right now on your show, we will up it to 300,000 just to have this woman actually debate her views. But they can't. None of them can. Not her. None of her orbiters like Baron Coleman and others. They all refuse to actually debate their views.
I will say this: I was never offered 300,000. I was never offered 300,000. Like, I would rather talk to Andrew Colvett. I don't think I would do it. I mean, there's a number at which I would do it, but I don't think I would do it anyway, because what's the point? Then they just say, oh, it's about the money. You see how they're doing the Oh, he just wants the money. He's greedy. He's a greedy little guy. Look at him rubbing his hands together. Oh, he's so greedy.
Have you noticed, like, the flat earthers have fleets of people who will debate their stances? Like, fleets of them who are like, we can't wait to debate with you on the flat earth. It's like, on the other side, though, in this particular conspiracy, you can't get these people to debate their positions.
Like, who won't debate their positions?
We offered, Candace Owens offered her $300,000 to do a debate.
Okay, so first things first, it has come to my attention that an individual who I had literally never heard of in my life went onto Joe Rogan signaling that I am scared to debate him regarding the Charlie Kirk case and that he's offered me $300K to do so. So just, the backstory leading up to this moment is that the host of the Whatever podcast, who I do know, a guy named Brian Atlas, reached out to my PR guy, Mitchell, with an offer of $50K for me to debate this person. And then he upped the amount, I think, to $150K initially. I immediately dismissed it. I genuinely had never heard of the name Andrew Wilson before. And
that's because, Candace, he goes by Smoke Boy or Pickles. Now, I think if Brian Atlas had contacted her, like, look, there's a guy named Smoke Boy. Oh, I know Smoke Boy. You remember the guy who couldn't open the pickle jar? Yeah. I remember the guy who couldn't open the pickle jar. Yeah, he's the one that wants to debate you. Oh, Pickles. Okay.
And my assumption was that this was a PR ploy, a move for some young influencer that was coming up through the ranks and had a little bit of money to spend to get their name out there. Now, what I had not appreciated until people began sending me clips of this Andrew Wilson guy following his sit down on Joe Rogan is that he is sort of affiliated with Turning Point USA, another person in their orbit that they're boosting, so much so that he's apparently hugging Erica Kirk at Turning Point USA headquarters. And I also now understand, having looked into it, why Blake Neff and Andrew Colvett seem to be boosting you on X. Now, nonetheless, like I said, I have a counter offer. He says 300K. Let's make it 500K, right? I just have the hunch, this feeling, gut instinct that you're maybe being backed by Turning Point USA or their affiliates in this debate request. It's just, you don't strike me as someone that has 300K lying around for conversation. I mean,
well, he said he wasn't poor. And then he admitted he needed to crowdfund the fee, but that's a minor discrepancy.
Not with that smoking habit in today's economy, right? I think 500K feels more appropriate. They want to invest in you. You're their guy. Tell them that's what it costs. What's 500K between old friends, right? Also,
that was such a devastating line. What's 500K between old friends?
My second counter offer position point that I'd like you to meet is I'm 7 months pregnant. So if you fancy a debate face to face, you're going to have to travel to me. It's common decency. No time limit in the debates. Don't worry. It will be live. We will bring up any documents or evidence that you mention as a part of this case. We have a team, so you can send links live. We are happy to pause and allow you to search for any evidence that you reference if the team can't find it for some reason. No tricks, as long as you want. Like I said, live, so anybody could see if we were trying to play tricks. As a 2A point here, you're not going to be chain smoking around me, tough guy, okay? So you're just going to have to bring yourself and leave your cigs at home.
She should have called him Smoke Boy. They're not going to be chain smoking around me, Smoke Boy. But she missed a good opportunity there. If I'm being honest, it was a good opportunity, Candace. Next time.
And this is actually, I would say, the most important part for me. This is what has to happen. Third part here. either Blake Neff or Andrew Colvett or Erica Kirk must publicly claim you first, meaning they must say that they are sending you in to debate on their behalf regarding the Charlie Kirk case.
Do they have cigarette flavored pickles? Like, could you really tempt him to open the pickle jar by putting cigarette flavored pickles in the pickle jar and then seeing if he'll open the pickle jar live on the screen? I'm just thinking here, just thinking out loud. Because we know he'll never again try to open a pickle jar live on TV.
Patrick Bet David was his second option. And I know that my fans are going to be very upset about this because they think that Patrick Bet David and his crew over at Valuetainment have not been very kind to me. And no, you are correct. Certainly not Adam Sosnick. And, you know, they've thrown a lot of digs my way. That's exactly why I think it's a good pick.
A few weeks ago, Brian Atlas, a friend.
This is so sad. This is the saddest video I've ever seen. I don't know. Did Andrew Colvett recommend you do this? Like, this is kind of an Andrew Colvett move. This is like when they put Erica Kirk in the Italian waiter outfit, the all black with the black hat. And she looked like something a cross between a person who works at Corsino Nito's restaurant and an assassin, like an assassin in a B movie.
Of mine who runs the Whatever podcast offered up $100,000 for Candace Owens to debate with me about the murder of Charlie Kirk on his platform. He eventually raised it to $150,000, to which I said I would match it if we could actually debate on neutral ground. I expressed this story recently on the Joe Rogan podcast. Candace and her fans' reactions were volatile, to say the least. She issued a strange counter that I needed to pay her $500,000 and that TPUSA needed to, quote, claim me. Now, I don't work for TPUSA, so I couldn't grant that concession, as it would have been a lie. She followed with an offer of me paying $300,000 to debate her at her home on the topic of if Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk and if he was a federal patsy or not. Obviously, this gives massive advantages to Owens, but I'm never one to back down from a debate challenge, even if I think the terms are fundamentally unfair. After many rounds of negotiations and a new moderator stepping in who assures us it'll be fair, we came to an agreement. This woman, Candace, has been terrorizing both the widow of Charlie Kirk and the organization he left behind. It's obvious her stated goal is to destroy the largest conservative college and high school outreach program currently in existence. In the following weeks, I will be relentlessly attacked from the Candace Owens cult for daring to put their leader to the question and for daring to question the questioners. Many creators and private individuals have reached out to help me with this financial burden, and they understand the fallout, which is likely to come for me and my family for doing the right thing when it mattered the most.
I thought he was rich. I could have sworn he said he's not exactly poor and laughed about $200,000. Now, granted, there's a big difference between $200,000 and $300,000, but come on, is it that big that you got to do a Sarah McLachlan HSPCA or whatever the Humane Society commercial? In the arms of an angel.
Now, to be clear, I have already sent Candace the $300,000 and fulfilled my end of the contract with her. If you guys want to help me in bearing that cost and help cushion the overwhelming attacks from her sycophants, here's where you can donate. Many of us are in this fight together, win or lose. Maybe I can do something to change its course for the entirety of the conservative movement.
What do you bet his wife made him do this? Like, you paid her what? You paid her what, Smoke Boy? You better raise that money back, Smoke Boy. We're opening a Give, Send, Go. That's it.
Promise made, promise kept. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I don't know, guys. This seems like it's starting off on a very dishonest foot. And I don't think that anybody setting off on a dishonest foot is intending to follow through in an honest fashion. But that's just me. That's just me. They mentioned the moderator. They got a moderator, Patrick Bet Star of David. I saw that in the comments. That was smart. Patrick Bet Star of David here. So where do we know Patrick Bet David? Well, actually, I want to do this out of order. Patrick Bet David is known for, I'll pull up his wiki. He's known for a multi-level marketing scheme that netted him hundreds of millions of dollars, allegedly. He's about a year older than your humble host. He looks like he's 20 years older, if I do say so myself. Maybe I'm wrong. American businessman, conservative. The word conservative is doing a lot of work there, ladies and gentlemen. Media personality, author, and podcaster. Founder of Valuetainment Media. Valuetainment was the name of his company that hosted his multi-level marketing campaign. He has interviewed some big people. That was obviously Kobe Bryant before the helicopter incident. He founded PHP Agency, a multi-level company. They did life insurance, financial services. There were a lot of investigations into this company after the fact. And they, I'm not going to suggest it was anything other than an honorable company, Mr. Bet David. But a lot of people differed in their investigations. He was born in Iran back in 1970, not 1870. He's not that old. He looks like he's that old, but he's not that old. He was born in 1978. And then they left during the Iraq-Iran War. So when he was about 10 years old, he moves to the United States. He enrolls in the Army after high school, ends up in the 101st, and yada, yada, yada. The rest is history. He ends up at one point, according to him, as a bodyguard for a Coke dealer. Not Coca-Cola, ladies and gentlemen. That's not the type of Coke I'm talking about. And goes on to found this agency, sells it, I think, for like $250 million plus that he earned, or they maybe earned on that. And then the investigations came. Daily Beast investigated, highlighted the company's revenue, relied heavily on recruitment fees, including a $150 training fee and $15 monthly fees from agents rather than project sales alone. They likened it to a lottery where most participants lost money. MLM attorney Douglas Brooks argued the structure disproportionately benefited top recruiters. YouTuber CoffeeZilla did a detailed investigation and interviewed Mr. Bet David, presented SEC filings showing the majority of agents earned little to no income, but he walked away with a bunch of money. And then he launched the podcast in 2020, and he even bought a minority stake in the New York Yankees and indicated he wanted to jump into other ventures. Well, okay, so he's a multi-level marketing guy. He served a couple of years, maybe 3 years in the military. Hosts a podcast, which is why it was weird when we see headlines like this, because you would think with a headline like this, you would have somebody with deep foreign policy experience, someone who had been in Iran for decades, knew the terrain, knew the lay of the land, knew the politics. No, not at all. Not according to the Times of Israel. They need Patrick Bet David. That's the leader Iran needs. The Iranian opposition does not suffer from a lack of hashtags or exiles with microphone. Suffers from a shortage of nerve. Leadership against a regime built on terror, prisons, execution squads. Does not come from think tanks in Beverly Hills or panels in Davos. It comes from people who understand pressure, discipline, risk, consequence. That is why multi-level market company and professional podcaster Patrick Bet David is the figure who actually fits the moment Iran is entering. What? Huh? I know he's a hack for our greatest ally, but short of that, what? It was just such a weird pick. Such a weird pick. Unless you think this is just one guy running off on the mouth in the Times of Israel. No, friends. They actually approached him about this. They actually asked him to do this. This is from the Jack Neal podcast. Jack Neal runs a good show.
30 days before the U.S. and Israel bombed Tehran, the Times of Israel ran a piece by Patrick Bet David.
I think I'm going to have to do this without music. Let me back it up. Just read. I'll read it out loud. 30 days before the U.S. and Israel bombed Tehran, the Times of Israel ran a piece why Patrick Bet David is the leader Iran needs. Have those ideas been entertained by any serious players in your life? We had extensive conversations, says Patrick Bet David, last July when we were in the Hamptons. Oh, there's a lot of interesting meetings going on in the Hamptons last July and August. Recall, ladies and gentlemen, this is where Charlie Kirk was confronted by supposed friends in a heated exchange that involved allegedly a call from our greatest ally's prime minister. Well, it turns out that wasn't the only important meeting taking place in the Hamptons that summer. Turns out there was another important meeting. They were there to pick the leader of Iran. Oh, are those two meetings connected by chance? I took a lot of heat when I told Julian Dory that I thought Charlie Kirk might have been killed over the war in Iran. It's a little weird that they're having these two conversations back to back. They're talking to Patrick Bet David about taking over Iran, a podcaster who ran a multi-level marketing insurance company and got rich doing so, about taking over a country of 92 million people that he hasn't lived in since the 80s, when The Cosby Show and MASH were on TV. Before Seinfeld premiered. When the cast of Friends was like in diapers. I got to back it up a little bit because they're talking faster than I can read. I got calls saying, do you have any interest? Would I be able to change the economy, be a glue between the States and Europe and open up the market? Would a 92 million people could start doing business, creating jobs, economy? Yeah, I think I could do that. But as the guy to be the leader doing that, I got 4 kids, 14, 12, 10, 4 years old. Do I want to put them through this right now? No. I would have to be there. I would need to live there. This isn't like a Zoom president. You get that job, has to be you're moving there. We talked about it probably for 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months. And then at the end of the day, I said, that's just not a job I want to do right now. Why is there a meeting in the Hamptons to decide who will be the president of Iran? Does anybody ask that question as a result of this podcast with Jack Neal and Patrick Bet David? Why is the future leader of Iran being decided off the coast of New York? What's this whole Iranian campaign really about in light of this revelation? That we're going to put a puppet podcaster as president of Iran, country of 92 million people. There's no one in Iran capable of being president. There's no one who's lived there. There's no one who knows the people. Yeah, knows where the men's room is, so to speak. Speaks the language, understands the cultural references, lived through the regime. It's a little strange that all this was taking place in the Hamptons. I'd be very curious whose house in the Hamptons, Mr. Bet David, this conversation took place in, and who was in the room and who was making these calls to you. Did you too receive a call from overseas like Charlie Kirk was alleged to have received? Guys, this is the host of tomorrow's debate. This is supposed to be the impartial moderator of tomorrow's debate. A guy who was approached the month before Charlie Kirk was approached and pressured. And then those conversations took place for 2 or 3 months. Well, July to August, August to September, September to October. You know what happened in September in the midst of this 2 to 3 months? Charlie Kirk was killed. And the conversations were still going on. It raises the obvious question whether there was any connection between these two meetings. Any connection at all? Is this why Charlie Kirk was being hustled? Is this why you were being approached? And does anybody have heartburn about this? Imagine if there was a meeting off the coast of, or in Nice, France. Some rich people from France, from Italy, Cyprus, Monaco. They're meeting in Nice, France, right on the coast. Some billionaire's house right there. It's a rich place, by the way. And they're deciding who's going to be the next president of the United States. And the guy they're choosing is a podcaster from Poland. He left the United States in 1988, 1989. George H.W. Bush was still president. He served in a foreign military. He served in the Polish military. He was in an elite unit there at the Polish military. He opened a Polish company, sold it for hundreds of millions of Polish dollars. He bought into a local Polish soccer club, the most famous Polish soccer club in all of sports. And they're courting him. They're bringing him in, and they're saying, "Hey, you know, Mr. So-and-so, we would like you to agree to be the next president of the United States." How as an American are we feeling about this right now? Why don't we get a say in who is our next president? Why do we have to have some group of billionaires in another country getting together and kind of cutting up our political future? As Americans, we get kind of numb to this reality, but this isn't normal, guys. This is not normal at all that the United States of America has corporatist, globalist billionaires meeting in a mansion in an exclusive enclave of New York, deciding who will be the president of a country of 92 million people on the other side of the world. That's very unusual. This should chill us to the core. We should be disturbed by this revelation. We should be very concerned going forward that this could happen to us, or maybe it does happen to us, because we have this nasty habit of electing presidents, and all of a sudden they don't represent our interests at all. They seem to be operating at the behest of foreign government leaders. And we say, how does this happen? How does this happen? This guy campaigned in these United States. He promised us all these wonderful things like jobs will return to the United States, money will return to the United States, immigration will reverse. We're going to bring manufacturing back. Inflation will come down. The price of fuel will come down. We're not going to be involved in any more foreign wars. And then he gets in office, and all of a sudden, none of that happens. And all of a sudden, he's saying, well, we're going to give 600,000 student visas to China, and we're going to increase the number of H-1B visas so that foreigners can compete against American entrepreneurs and engineers and architects and job owners and business owners. We're going to leave them out. The American worker is going to lose. We're going to bring in foreign people. And we're going to go pick a war with a country of 92 million people, proud people that frankly never lost a war. We're going to, and by the way, when we pick this war, when we start this war, we understand that they have the ability to shut down one of the most important commercial channels of waterway in the world, and we have no plan to stop them. No plan at all to stop them. If they decide to shut down this very important pinch point of commercial waterway, we're just going to have to take it. We're just going to have to accept that this is reality. That means our fuel prices are going to go up. Our fuel reserves are going to go down. Our standard of living is going to go down. Inflation is going to go up. It's almost like our president was picked off the coast of France, and that they put some sort of foreign operative in our White House, like they were planning to do with Iran, put a foreign operative in their White House, their version of White, a yellow house, green house. I don't know what color their house is. But wherever the president of Iran lives, there was going to be a fundamentally American human being running it. And I guess they were just going to have to take it. Do you think Patrick Bet-David has the interest of the Iranian people at heart, or is he operating more for the interest of corporate billionaires who put him in power? Ultimately, he turned it down, but it raises the obvious question, who else did they approach? Who do they have in the tank? What is the plan? If there is a war of totality inside the cozy confines of the proud country of Iran, who do they have lined up to take over? And how will that person be selected? Will they be selected in a billionaire's mansion in the Hamptons? For those of you who don't reside in the United States, the Hamptons is one of the most exclusive enclaves in the entire country. The starting point to get in the neighborhood is an 8-figure proposition. It's $10 million plus to get a decent house there. This is not an urban area. This is rich. This is where the billionaires play. This is where they vacation. That's who's moderating tomorrow's debate. That's who's moderating tomorrow's debate. So when we wake up tomorrow and we tune in the debate at 9 a.m. God's time, Central Daylight Time, 10 a.m. on the East Coast, 8 a.m. on the West Coast, 9 a.m. in Mountain Country. When we tune in tomorrow, this is what we expect to see. This guy, a podcaster who was approached by billionaires to run Iran for some reason. Strangely enough. All right, so that is your preview of the debate for mañana. Now, let me show you an area here real quickly. I want to give you some familiarity from the air at what we're going to be looking at on the ground. This is a little patch of dirt in Orem, Utah. A little patch of dirt in Orem, Utah, as it appeared on September 10th, 2025. We got lucky and we got satellite footage from that very day. So this is a sort of large patch of dirt. If you look over the years, you can scroll back. They had different things parked there. But this is September 10th. This is what was parked there. If you slide down here where this marker is, this is the house where Phil Lyman was that day. In fact, his car was parked right over here in this area when the shebang happened at Utah Valley University. This house right here is another house that had a camera, a doorbell camera, right above this basketball goal, above the garage, and it looked out as well. This house had a doorbell camera that looked out this way, and if you notice, and you look out this way, you can see right across this way here, you can see between these two houses into this little dirt patch back here. This is what we're going to be looking at tonight, is this dirt patch back here. When we watch this video, it's going to pick up about where this truck is. You're going to pick up right in this area here, and the people we're going to be watching are going to be walking on this little worn-out trail. They're going to walk between these trees. Excuse me. They're going to walk between these trees. They're going to continue walking down this trail, and they're going to end up right here at this parking lot. And if I back up, you'll see where that is relative to Utah Valley University. This red marker here, marker 2, that's the Losi Center. This is an LDS facility here. I don't believe that's owned by the university. This is the Army ROTC building right here at the end of this walkway where they dump out. So this will give you a little lay of the land with what we're about to watch. If I have to come back to this, I will. And then I'll show you a little Easter egg that's hidden in this map somewhere when we, after we get done watching the video. You're not going to want to miss the Easter egg. I promise. I promise you're not going to want to miss the Easter egg. But let me open the video. Where did it go? Here it is. So this video opens with a woman talking, and there's a man recording it. Now, we will learn later, after this video came out just a couple of days after the event, but we will learn that these people grew up in this neighborhood. These are relatives, I believe, of Phil Lyman, who was in the neighborhood, whose family sort of owned all the area around UVU right there. Certainly this area right here. He'll talk about his grandma's house is over here and his aunt's house is over here. You'll hear him say all this in the video. But this is a guy who grew up back here. He grew up playing in this area. He talks about sledding down the hill, we'll see. But there's a couple of times I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to really drill down on what they're saying because it's not consistent with the narrative. And these are witnesses, ladies and gentlemen, these are witnesses. But what they're saying is not consistent with the narrative. Now, I'm going to turn the volume up. It may be a little loud, but I want you to hear what they're saying.
Because I got here like about 10 minutes before he walked by.
So what she's saying is 10 minutes before he walked by, we're to believe, if the timeline is accurate, that he walked by there around 12:29. So this would be the alleged shot took place at 12:23. So this would be about 4 minutes before the bang. She's back here walking around. We have no idea why she's walking around, but as she's walking around, this is 10 minutes before he came by.
And then I was talking to Mom and we were doing all this stuff. And then I look out the thing and there was somebody like right here, but they were just like kind of doing this kind of stuff, not really
pacing back and
So I
forth.
sent it to the FBI.
So there was someone in her yard, essentially, on this trail that we just looked at on the map. You saw that trail. You saw that little area where the truck was parked, and it was kind of hidden by some trees back there. She says she's looked back there and she sees a guy just sort of pacing back and forth, just sort of walking around, almost like he's there to meet somebody. That's kind of the initial impression I got when she said he's just sort of walking around. He's sort of doing this number. And he said pacing back and forth. Well, why do you pace back and forth? Why do you walk around? Supposedly, you just assassinated Charlie Kirk. You might not want to hang out in the area very long, but we'll see what he was doing. She'll give us a clue what she thinks she saw him doing.
And said, if there's an accomplice, you know, because the camera from here to here.
When she says the camera from here to here, what she's saying is that camera I was pointing out that was on the house across the street that could see between the yards. She's talking about that camera.
Took way too long. If you time how long it took him to get from that little part over to here, was way longer than it should have been.
And what she's saying there is he was lost behind the trees for a little bit, but the little bit of dirt terrain he had to walk through, if you looked at the camera, it took him too long, indicating he stopped in this area. The guy she believes may be the fleeing suspect stopped in this area for some unknown reason. She'll go on to explain potentially a reason here in just a second.
So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff like...
Wondered if the girl had given him stuff. I'll back that back up so you can hear it without my interruption. But she just identified the girl. The is a definite article. It's not a girl. It's not an indefinite article. If you say a girl, you mean one of many girls. Some unknown girl, some indefinite article girl. When you say the girl, you're talking about a specific girl. That is a definite article, the. I wondered if the girl had given him stuff. Well, who is the girl? I've not heard about the girl. I was told Tyler Robinson planned and executed Charlie Kirk alone. This was a lone wolf, a lone assassin. No accomplices. She's raising the prospect that there was the girl. Now, who might look like a girl from a distance? Now, how do you... My kids, when they're young, if they see a man with long hair, you know what they say? Why does he have girl hair, Daddy? Because most men have short hair. But she has long hair, the girl. How would this woman know it was a girl from a distance? Was she wearing a sports bra? How would you know? Well, you might look at the hair. You might look at some man that has long hair and mistake it for being the girl. So I want to play this again and listen to it and see if you hear what I hear.
How long it took him to get from that little part over to here was way longer than it should have been. So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff, like if there is an accomplice. Sorry, you're filming.
And then she said, sorry, you're filming. Indicating maybe I shouldn't be talking about all this. Sorry, you're filming. I wonder if the girl had given him some stuff. Oh, if there was an accomplice. Oh, sorry, you're filming. Play it again. Listen to it one more time.
Really
pacing back and
so I
forth.
sent it to the FBI and said, if there's an accomplice, you know, because the camera from here to here took way too long. If you time how long it took him to get from that little part over to here was way longer than it should have been. So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff, like if there is an accomplice. Sorry, you're filming.
So let's back up and ask ourselves if we saw any of this in the preliminary hearing. Have we heard any of this in any of the probable cause statements, the arrest affidavit, any public statements given by law enforcement? Because she said, I sent the FBI this, and I told them if there's an accomplice, maybe it's the girl. What? Maybe it's the girl. Again, when you ask my 5-year-old who's looking at somebody from a distance, if it's a boy or a girl, the first thing he's looking at is the hair. It's the first thing he's looking at. If he sees long hair, he thinks girl. If he sees short hair, he thinks boy. Now, that's not to say there aren't some beautiful women with short hair, some handsome men with long hair, but I'm just saying from a layman's perspective, typically when you look out, stereotypes exist for a reason. Most people you see that have very short hair, those are boys. Most people you see that have long hair, those are girls. That's pretty common in the world, not just America. Pretty common around the world. So natural human instinct in the year 2025, which is when this was, That if you see someone with long hair, you think the girl. And this video footage and her statement about the potential accomplice, the girl, was handed over to the FBI. Where did it go? Was the girl investigated? Or was the girl given immunity to testify against Tyler? Let's let her continue, shall we? Some more discussion takes place.
It said right here, that picture from Sam's across the street, he was right here.
Yep.
And so you say the gun was dumped up here?
No, I'll show you where.
Oh,
Our sacred hill.
this is where we sled every year.
Yeah. There's the hut that all of you guys would build.
You actually got a pretty good angle there of how the camera was able to pick up.
Every year.
Yeah. There's the hut.
See that? See how the camera is able to pick up through the runway? That house in the distance is able to record between those two houses and pick up this activity back here on the hill where they sled every year. The girl.
That all of you guys would build. Grandpa would buy extra nails every week. So this is where you could see him in this area.
It's very interesting to me that there was no discussion of what took place after he jumped off the roof other than he ran into the woods, dumped the gun, and changed his clothes. That's all they told us. No, where did he go afterwards? No, how long was he missing? Now, keep in mind, and I'll show you my Easter egg that I'm going to show you for just a reason, because she suggests he's back there for a while. Took him way too long. He's pacing back and forth.
And I saw the officers right there, and then on the basketball hoop.
So some of these footprints would be his for sure.
Ooh, that's right.
Did you see anything about footprints on an escape track in the preliminary hearing?
I would play there as a kid in those sports. And to have been there at that rally. Ooh. I saw Irwin on TV as well. They interviewed Irwin out front. Oh, and there's the Losi Center right there.
So he's pointing out that you can actually see the Losi Center through these trees along this path, meaning this is an elevated position sort of looking down.
The roof of the building on which he was on.
I didn't know where this was. So that's right where he was?
Yes, the Losi Center. Look at that cat.
Way closer than I thought it was.
We got a cat appearance if Brandy Zadrozny's watching. There's a cat, Brandy, over there on the right. Britta, are you watching? There's a cat watching.
So he must have known how to scout out, and like I had this on my calendar for weeks, and so it said it was in the courtyard, and so he must have been. There's EVU. He must have known because it said it would be in the courtyard, and all the events that take place, he enters through that little driveway.
I'm gonna go on the record. I've heard manlier men narrate, and I'm not suggesting this guy was involved in any way or anything like that, but this guy sure seems to know a lot about what's going on, and sounds like he could hang out with Lance and Tyler. You know what I mean?
We came and checked this all out.
This is Briggs' former house.
So that's the roof he shot from?
Yeah, the Losi Center.
Go back and listen. Did you hear him talk about how long he'd had this on the calendar? That got past me.
Look at that cat.
Way closer
Oh, I went back just for you, Britta. It's Brandy. This is for you, the cat.
than I thought it was.
So he must have known how to scout out, and like I had this on my calendar for weeks.
Had it on his calendar for weeks. Must have known how to scout it out. Guys, it was only announced on August 27th via Instagram post on TPUSA. I don't know if Shaner's a big TPUSA follower. I don't know if he's up to date with everything's going on, but that would only be 2 weeks before Charlie Kirk was taken out on September 10th. How did you have this on your calendar for weeks? I guess 2 weeks is technically plural, but most people say I'd had it on my calendar for 2 weeks. Weeks, for most people, when you say I've had something on my calendar for weeks, it means more than 2 weeks. Just a data point to lodge back there.
And so it said it was in the courtyard, and so he must have been, there's EVU.
And again, the announcement for the courtyard, I don't believe was 2 weeks before the announcement that it was at UVU. I think they made an announcement it was going to be at UVU. And then the announcement of the courtyard, I seem to recall being very close to the actual event itself. I don't recall the announcement of the courtyard being there for weeks. So how does this guy know he's been, or why is he speculating this guy was scouting this out for a long period of time? Oh, he must have really scouted this out to know this area. Are you suggesting you'd have to really scout this area out to know it? Because that might suggest this isn't Tyler. So it almost seems like it would be somebody more familiar with this pathway. Someone who maybe, I don't know, sledded on it growing. I'm just running through possibilities.
He must have known, because it said it would be in the courtyard, and all the events that take place, he enters through that little driveway.
He came and checked this all out.
This is Briggs' former house.
So that's the roof he shot from?
Yeah, the Losi Center. That's the career center of the university where I did my interviews for internships.
It's the Losi Center where he shot from.
Yep, and this is Briggs Steele's old house. And so
He
right,
would have dropped down somewhere.
and there's Grandma's old house. And so where do you say the gun was dropped?
Well, DeRay's house is right here. And there's one of the places up here that doesn't have the fence. So he probably just ran up in there and dropped it. But it's like, this isn't that far. I was thinking he went a long ways up in there. But
No.
So where they're coming out here is where I showed you on the map where the ROTC Center is right there. That's the parking lot. That van is in the driveway.
And it could be actually over here.
And that's the tunnel where they released the photos of him entering, because you can't cross the street anymore. They made that underground tunnel. You see that handrail right there? That's the photo they had of him going down to get through. And
I don't know why that video went out of play. It got a lot of play in the immediate days afterwards, and then it sort of disappeared. Sort of just disappeared off the face of the earth. I think that video needs a new look. I think it needs a fresher look in light of everything we've learned. Now, I want to go back and show you the map again, because when I show you my Easter egg here in a second, you're going to wonder what the hell he was doing back here in the first place. So this is the Losi Center right here. This is the Losi Center where he allegedly jumped off of, or we saw someone Spider-Man off this building. That red dot is near about where he came in to lay down to lie in the prone position there, and then he scampers across the roof here. He comes over to this little white section here, but if you look down, it's kind of like a tarpaulin or something on top of that roof. He skedaddles across that. Spider-Man down. He scampers, skedaddles, and then Spider-Mans, ladies and gentlemen. That's the order in which he did things. He scampered across the roof. He skedaddled across this tarpaulin area, and then he Spider-Maned down the corner of the roof. He drops to the ground. He runs up this little grassy knoll right here. He comes all the way up to the edge of the road right between these two pieces of greenery, crosses the street, and then we lose him. The police tell us he came over here next to this chicken coop and dropped off the rifle and changed clothes. And then we get no explanation at all from the police where he went after that. But in order to get from here, from this chicken coop, to this runway up here, you have to move west. Look, that's almost dead west. It's kind of west-northwest from the chicken coop to here. And he runs over here, and he's on this walkway back here, and then he comes to this little clearing, and he just sort of hangs out. According to the woman, he's back here for too long a period of time And for some reason, there's a woman involved. A woman. The woman might have given him stuff, she said. And then we see him over here, and then we lose him. We don't see him again. Where's he going over here? Well, if we back it up, let's just keep this red marker right here because that's where the camera was. Let's just back up here. If you looked at this map and you see him, so the woods are down here where this Wednesday, September 10th is, right above this arrow. I don't know if you can see my marker or not, but it's just that roadway right above where it says Wednesday, September 10th at the bottom. That roadway right there, that's the woods. And then he goes this way towards the red marker, hangs out for a little while. Well, would you believe it? That's going west-northwest, which means to get to his automobile, he would now have to go east-northeast. So why go west-northwest at all? What do you mean get to his automobile? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have found his automobile. We've known where this is a while, but there is the Dodge Challenger. I'm 99% sure that's it. It's possible that's some other Dodge Challenger, but it's in no other angle. And so if we drop a marker on the Dodge Challenger, make an orange marker there, we'll call it Dodge. I'll spell correctly, Dodge. If we drop a Dodge marker there, we can back up now and we can see why did he run from red marker here to orange marker there. So that's kind of going towards the car because the car's up here on this orange marker at the top up here. So he's running towards his car. He takes an immediate hard left for some reason. Runs through the woods. We lose him, and then all of a sudden he's back on the roads. But if he's comfortable walking on the roads in his present condition, what the hell's he doing scampering around in the woods back here? Like, that's a piece of the story that they have not explained. That's a piece of the story they have not explained. Why run from this orange marker here over to this red marker over here, which is west-northwest, through the woods, scampering like you're hiding, if you're going to be fine walking around on the street after that to get to your car? It almost is as if something happened in these woods back here. And maybe the story we're told isn't true. Maybe where this orange marker is, where he allegedly changed clothes and dropped the gun, maybe he never went there at all. Maybe he never went there at all. Or if he did go there, maybe he didn't change clothes. Maybe he didn't drop a gun. Maybe he just walked over there. But if he walked over there, dropped the gun, so he no longer has a gun in his hand, he now has different set of clothes on, so no one's going to recognize him. Why not just walk up the driveway here, get on the road, and walk back to your car? Because that's what you're going to do anyway. You're going to walk to your car that's 0.72 miles away. What are you hanging out back here for? And we know he had to get to the car pretty quickly if this is indeed one person and if it is indeed Tyler. Because if he's seen on camera back here at 12:29, where the red marker is, he's got to then walk to his car, get in his car, and then drive to this shopping center up here where he is then spotted at 12:45. Now he's spotted at 12:45. So he has to be moving fairly quickly. There's not a lot of time to dither. There's not a lot of time to pace back and forth between the trees. And again, if you have new clothes on and you don't have a gun and you have a getaway car, why are you pacing back and forth? Why are you walking around? Why are you going the wrong way? Why did you run up into the woods if you're in a position where you're eventually going to be fine just walking down the street? And we assume he was fine walking down the street because if you recall, he was walking down the street in his all black, limping with a 30-06 down his pants. That's the story we're told. So he's comfortable enough walking down the street in front of all these doorbell cameras, dragging his leg, looking like he's injured, And he's got no problem with that. A concealed rifle in his pants, limping around. But after he ditches the rifle and changed clothes, now he has to be hiding behind trees and scampering around behind people's houses? Huh? Going that way when his car's that way? And he just dithers around over here, just pacing back and forth while some girl may have helped him give stuff? What? Do we have a follow-up on this story? Where is the explanation for any of this? Where's the explanation for where he went in the immediate aftermath? When you hear the Fed sloppers, they say, it doesn't matter. It's not an element of the crime. Well, it matters because it tells a story. You're telling us it matters he was on campus at 8:30 in the parking garage. You're telling us it matters he was out talking to TPUSA representatives sometime between 8:30 and 9:30. You're telling us it matters that he went to Chick-fil-A at 10 o'clock. Why doesn't it matter what he did afterwards? Those aren't elements of the crime, but they made it into the preliminary hearing. Wouldn't it make more sense to tell us what he did in the immediate aftermath when you claim he ditches the weapon of the crime and changes clothes and leaves? Where did he go? This guy said there might be footprints there. There might be shoe prints that can match to the known assassin or the believed assassin. Did they collect the footprints? What happened when she turned the footage over to the FBI and said he might have been with a girl? What happened? Who was the girl? Was the girl maybe a boy who was supposed to be asleep until 1 o'clock and then just sort of dallied around the house until 11 p.m. when he got a text from his dear lover to look under the keyboard? If you want to convince the world that Tyler Robinson did this and it's an open and shut case, this is how you do it. You answer some of these basic entry-level questions. Where did he go? How did he get there? What was he wearing? You got him on camera all over the place before. As Candace pointed out on her show, it's like he purposefully went on camera. There was actually a way to get from where he arrived on campus to the Losi Center roof without being on camera. But instead, he chose to go through the tunnel that has a camera. He chose to go into the parking garage that has a camera. He chose to leave the parking garage where there's another camera. Then into the stairwell where there's a camera. He didn't have to do any of that. He could have avoided all those cameras. So tell us where he's on camera afterwards. Look at all those houses he had to pass. There's dozens of them. Any of those houses have a Ring camera? Phil Lyman had 2 different houses pick him up on a Ring camera. Nobody else picked him up on a Ring camera. We had people picking him up on Ring camera before the event. We don't have anybody picking him up on a Ring camera after the event. I want to show you one more weird thing. So let's go back to his car here. Isn't it so convenient? We have aerial photographs from that day. It would have been so nice for somebody to have an aerial observation of all these events. So this is, we believe, his car. If you remember, I was asking if I was looking and looking and looking for his car, and then one day we stopped looking for his car, and it's because we found his car. But if you go down this road where his car is, you just kind of scroll down this road. It's a straight shot to this main highway here. And this main highway is a straight shot to this right here. And we know these pictures were taken sometime in the 11 o'clock hour, we believe. And so it's probable that he is somewhere on this map walking around during this timeline. So let's look and see if we see anybody who might fit his description. Well, we know he came right down this road. He was wearing all black. Here are 3 people wearing all black walking right down this road. This red marker is the house Phil Lyman was in. This is the doorbell cam that caught him walking across the street here in all black, limping. Well, here are 3 people in all black walking that exact same pathway. It might just be a thing, but I've looked at a lot of the images from that day, and I saw very few people head to toe in black. Very few people. But I don't want to get too caught up on that. Let's roll back over here to the street he walked down. He would have had to have walked down. So there's the orange marker where his car was. The way these aerial maps work is they take lots of pictures and you can see where they stitch them together. See how that line doesn't add up right there? They take lots of pictures and then they sort of have a program that stitches them together. And they do a really good job of getting it close, but it's not always perfect. And you can kind of see where they stitch the pictures together. I've been looking at these maps for a long time. And I have never seen a stitching as bad as this one. This is the worst stitching I've ever seen. And I can assure you, if you look at this from other angles, that is not an artifact of the road. That's an artifact of the stitching. This is the same spot of land right here. You can see the line is pretty continuous until you get to this angle here. And look at that. Look at that stitching they did there that's terrible. And I would argue they did not just take that small of an image of this section. The pictures they take are huge. They're from an airplane way up in the air. That looks to me like somebody edited out a portion of this image. And they did a poor job of it. And they just stuck a random piece of road as if they were trying to hide what was taking place on this stretch of road. Again, that is immediately south of the car. There's the car with the red marker, or the orange marker, and you walk south on this road, and you enter this area of the road where there's just this horrific stitch job. And not a stitch job that is a full image that just wasn't dropped in and lined up exactly right. This is an entry that looks to be about 100 feet. Was there somebody on a scooter? Was there somebody on a bicycle? Were there two people walking down the road? Was it Tyler Robinson walking down the road, or is this just something random that happens? But I'm telling you, I've looked all over all these streets that have lines, and there's nothing like it anywhere on this map in the entire city. Every other street has mostly straight lines, except the street that happens to be a few houses south of where Tyler Robinson's car is located. In my opinion, that deserves an explanation. That deserves an explanation. Because the timing of this image would indicate Tyler Robinson might have been right there, or whoever that was playing Tyler Robinson. And I can't think of any reason why you would want to edit him out, but for the fact that it doesn't support the story. It doesn't add up that it's him. That's speculation. Everything else I said is accurate. Well, I guess it's like 0.1% speculation that it's his car, but guys, I'm pretty confident it's his car. Pretty confident it's his car. I suppose there's an outside chance it's maybe not, but I don't think I'm wrong about that. All right, final bit of news. I said it during the comments last night. I promised you by the end of the week I would tell you, and I will. I told you that Erica had gone to see somebody here recently, and I actually got this information from like 6 different sources, so I'm pretty confident I'm right. And if you look at her travels, the way we know to look at her travels, it supports what I'm about to say. I'm fairly confident the person she went to see was Tucker. Fairly confident. Every source would have to be independently wrong. And her airplane would have to have gone to Maine for no apparent reason. So I'm pretty confident I'm right about that. The question is why? Why? Are they just big buds? Or was there a fear Tucker was getting a little soft on this issue and maybe looking to start covering this issue a little more? Remember, he had Jimmy Dore on. Jimmy Dore had very strong words to say about it. I don't know the answer. But, and again, I don't know for certain, 100% certain she was there. I did not see her. I don't have a picture of it. I have not talked to Tucker or anyone associated with Tucker that would confirm it. I haven't asked. It's not that I've asked and they won't confirm it. I've not asked. But I've had other people tell me. Several. And I just don't know why. Just don't know why. And I'm not going to speculate. I just promised you I would tell you. And I'm telling you. And I'm telling you. What I heard. But that's all. I'm not going to say anything else about it because I don't know anything else about it. So what I will be doing tomorrow, I will be watching the debate, I assume, with the rest of you. I'll be watching it on Candace's channel. She will have it on her channel. Patrick Bet David will be running it live on his channel as well. I don't trust his channel. I don't trust his advertisers. I don't trust his co-hosts. I don't trust him. They've all given me good reason not to. So I will be watching it on a platform I actually trust and like. So I'll be watching it on Candace's platform. I have yet to decide. I've been offered from a couple of different people to come on and maybe do like a little after party or an after explanation. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet or not. I'm leaning towards no, for the simple reason that I don't get a lot of days off, and here's my opportunity to have 2 consecutive days off, Friday and Saturday. And I may take advantage of that. We'll see. We'll see. I intended to take last night off, and I ended up 5 hours on an X Space. It was interesting. It was fun. But that was not in the cards. And so I lost my last night off. I don't know that I want to lose my whole Friday off as well. And so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If you have not liked the program, now's an excellent time to go ahead and hit the like button. I hate to ask, but if we don't ask, people forget. And if people forget, YouTube punishes us, ladies and gentlemen. They punish us. So by all means, if you have enjoyed the program, I'm not asking you to like it if you didn't, but if you did, the thumbs up button's right there. Makes it nice and easy. You can hit the subscribe button while you're in the vicinity. If you subscribe to the program, you can hit the little down arrow, and it'll give you the option to select all notifications. If you would like to join the members party, we have a member show once a week. It will give you access to all the member shows in the past. You can join the program for a little monthly fee, and that monthly fee helps support the program, helps us produce good content, and it's a way to be helpful and get a little benefit for yourself as well, because you'll get an extra show each week plus access to all the old shows as well. We do interviews. We talk about other stuff. We sometimes talk about the Charlie Kirk case or contemporary politics, but a lot of times we just talk about weird stuff or what's going on in my life, or just have a kind of a more fun, laid-back show. So those options are on the table as well. If you like merch, realbaronpodcast.com, always a good way to help the program as well. But I will roll through some of your comments. Candace knows more about the case than anyone. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Andrew is wearing milk-bone underwear. Well, I don't like that visual. I don't like the visual of Candace eating his milk-bone underwear. Let's just be honest. I don't think George likes it either. Hope there are tissues close by for Andrew. Christ is King. Indeed. Will tomorrow be the day we finally see Fort Huachuca pics? I have no idea what she has up her sleeve. I have no idea what she has planned. I asked her if she was ready, and she said, oh boy. That's all. That's the sum total of our discussions about it. Let's assume I gave you 66% of $49.99. What would you buy if that money was earmarked for Daisy only? One could argue you would need to take out income tax as well if our humble host was being charitable and eats the taxable event. What would I buy? Are you asking Daisy what she would buy? What would you buy for $33? $33 of a Lexus, like a piece of stitching or something out of one of the seats?
Like my down payment.
That's not going to cover the down payment. Daisy. I got bad news. Your down payment's going to be like $25,000. I got bad news for you.
Yeah. What can you even get with $32.99 these days?
You can't even get a Lexus keychain for $32.99.
Yeah, you can't even get the replacement key for that.
You can't even get the battery for the keychain.
We put it in a
she'll
jar
put it to good use.
Lexus. Yeah.
She'll put it to good use. How about that? Put it to good use. Hey, B, can you pretty please be a part of the after party stream tomorrow? Well, that's what I was just talking about. I might. I don't know if I'm going to or not. I've very kindly and graciously been offered by good friends that I think highly of. And if I'm not on it, I will be watching it. Why do you think Tucker likes Erica so much? Surely he cannot realize what she is. You think he's scared to be next, or you think he's in the club? I don't speculate on things like that. I don't know the answer. I like Tucker. I think Tucker's brand of politics is very similar to my brand of politics. Not on everything. I hate we have to say that, but if I had to pick 5 people in the country that are notoriety, that have a similar brand of politics to your humble host, Tucker would probably be on that list. So, but I don't like his politics because of his interpersonal relationships. I mean, that's not part of my analysis. So I honestly don't know. Go green. MSU is the best school in the Big Ten. Now, Utah prosecutors have proved Barron is a closet Sparty. Oh, because I said go big green. I've rooted for Michigan State from time to time. You know, if they're in the Final Four and they're playing a Big 12 school or something, I'll root for them. Hey, B. Me again from Dickleborough in Norfolk, England, which is where you can find the 100th Bomb Group Museum, who were known as the Bloody 100th in the war, if you're interested. I wasn't, but I now know that. Thank you, Dickleborough. Gen Xers waiting for this like SAT Saturday morning cartoons. Christ is king indeed. Oh, you talking about the debate? Is that what you're talking about? Hi, Baron. This is my first super chat as a member. I enjoy your shows and your humor. Sending best wishes to you and Daisy from Uck. Christ is king indeed. I like when our Uckers chime in. Please write a book titled Tyler Robinson Didn't Do It for Dummies. Trying to explain all this to my boomer parents is one of the most frustrating experiences of my life. Do your boomer parents hunt? Do they have any experience firing long arms? Because it shouldn't be a difficult discussion at that point. First time I've caught alive, I don't know much about American law being Scottish. Do you think Utah was picked for its courts laws like hearsay? Potentially. I don't know the answer to that. But Utah's its own man. Utah's a different place. We're learning this during this trial. It's a different place. A very tight-knit group of people there in Utah. Sweet B out of this world show with Julian. Thank you. Both shows. Freaking amazing. I appreciate that, interior designer, Utah. Wondering if you talked about off camera the mark on CK's side where the alleged patch may have been. No, because there is no patch. I refuse to accept it. Daisy and I have had this fight. She now sees it my way, I think. Do you see it my way, Daisy?
I do, but they're talking
I didn't want to put words in your mouth.
They're talking about the square.
It's not a square.
Side.
It's an artifact of the light.
No, not the neck.
Oh.
Yes. I see it your way, though. Don't worry.
Yeah. We did talk about that off camera, actually. We did. But we also agreed everything we talked about off camera was off camera, so I'm not going to go into the details of what we said. Baron calling Wilson Smoke Boy has my mother, sister, and me cracking up. He will now and forever be such. Isn't that his name? Smoke Boy? Oh, Pickles. Oh, do you guys call him Pickles? Well, he's Smoke Boy. 10 a.m. it is. Barca here, Baron. I feel similarly with PVD. Can't wait for the secret. And I buckled up for debates prep. Yesterday, I walked for the first home from train something, big step after fusion. Oh, after your spinal fusion. You're now up on your feet. Good. Congratulations. Thank you. Let the Star Wars debate to begin. Braids versus Darth Vader. Oh, we didn't even ask what she was going to wear. Is she going with the battle bun? Battle braids?
Wait, is it too late for you to do like a poll, battle braids, or can we do that on a regular show?
Yeah, I can. It takes time, but I can pull it up and do it.
Battle braids, or let's do 3. Battle braids, battle bun,
high
or
pony. Or
okay.
What's the thing called that you put in your hair up
headband.
There? Headband. All right.
We got to do like a normal hair down though. I mean, like a general.
Nah, or other.
Okay,
what
we'll do other.
Will Candace do with her hair for the big debate? Battle bun?
Battle braids.
Battle braids.
Headband.
Headband.
And other.
Other. All right, here we go. Starting the poll. If you guys are near your live chat, you may now weigh in. I'll let that run for a minute or two. Good call. Good call. I have no idea what she's going to do with her hair. Claiming number 1 fan from Toledo, Ohio. Funny you said Toledo a lot recently. Hypothetical. Massey Kent, 2028. Who's the ideal cabinet of podcasters? You and the principal included. Well, I want Secretary of State. I'd be the best Secretary of State this country's ever had. CIA or ODNI? Candace. Attorney General? Lionel? Putting Lionel at AG. Department of the Interior. I need a kind of a redneck here for this one. Department of the Interior. Let's go with a heavy-duty country. Press secretary? Coach Colin. We might as well make it fun. Who else? A HUD? That's a boring job. Put someone random there. Health and Human Services? Who's the healthiest podcaster we know? Jesse on Fire? He's kind of a health nut. I don't know.
I was going to
Who's the
say Zach
healthiest?
Costello.
Zach
He just
Costello.
gives-
That's
he
a good
gives
one.
healthy vibes, yeah.
Yeah, Zach Costello gives healthy vibes. That's a good call. Zach, you just got a new job. He lives in the area, too. He's in Virginia. Good call. I agree about PBD. Now cannot stand watching them. Bought and paid for, in my opinion. Oh, wow. Battle Bun is kicking butt. Candace, your people are speaking. I keep thinking about your member live this week. The elites remind me of building the Tower of Babel. God will not be mocked. Correct. He will not be mocked. Good call. Good call back there. All the way back to Genesis. Hey, B, could you kindly tell us where you can... Yeah, I already did. Love the matinees. I can work out in while listening to your show. Wish audiobook had B. Coleman voice option. God bless from Scotland. I can go into the audiobook business. I'm not afraid. Not afraid at all. Pickles, Vaseline, no restroom. Framing Charlie Kirk tweets to set the stage for Smoke Boy. I needed the laugh. My son, Mom, I didn't know Baron made you laugh. Well, I'm just being me, son. Just being me. B, how did loser Smoke Boy get on the Joe Rogan podcast twice? Makes me think TPUSA is infiltrating JRE. What a waste. JRE needs a Baron episode. I would go if asked. I've not been invited, so I'm not sure that I just want to knock on his door and say, hey, do a podcast with me. But certainly we go if invited. I don't know how I got on there twice. You have to ask Joe. Love you, B. Tennessee Nerf's Tiffany Dover fell out after something on Live TV 2020. No one could find her since except one exclusive interview with Brandy Zadrozny. Look into it. She's a FedSlop distributor. Christ is king indeed. Brandy is a FedSlop distributor? Yes, that's correct. That is correct. Big old FedSlopper in aviators. Hi, guys. I'm Brandy Zadrozny. I wear aviators, eat FedSlop, and have cats. That's me, if you need to know. I forgot to say on prior message, you dropped a bomb during the chats yesterday, and it's worth repeating for anyone who did not watch the chats. EK at Tucker's wonder which one suggested the meeting. Yeah, we don't know. Hi, Baron and Daisy. Can we have a quick tour of the pictures on your back wall, please? Christ is king indeed. Hooroo from Melanie, Adelaide, Australia. Sure. I've done this before, but it's been a while. Up here, we have Teddy Roosevelt, my favorite president. He is a man's man and was a populist's populist. Over here, Andrew Jackson, man's man, populist. John Kennedy, man's man, populist. Over here, we have Senator Joe McCarthy, an American hero. I'm a big Joe McCarthy fan. Anyone talks bad about him, you're on my doo-doo list. We got Rosa Parks, civil rights icon. Booker T. Washington, a true American hero. And Martin Luther King Jr., sitting in a jail cell in Birmingham, Alabama. So that is the tour of the back wall. This debate just feels weird and pointless to me. Smoke Boy just spawns out of nowhere, and he just sounds and feels like Timu Ben Shapira. How he just ended up on Joe Rogan he's not interesting. Well, I'm going to end the poll here. I forgot about it. So Battle Bun won with 53%. 26% with Battle Braids. Other, 12, and Headband, 9. Let me tell you, I'm a big fan of the headband. I think she's in peak form when she's in that headband. Something about that headband, she's like, I'm focused. I'm not messing around. I get the Battle Bun. I understand the braids. Sweet B, if too personal, you don't have to answer, but wondering when you are guests on others' podcasts and travel, who pays for travel and hotel? It's pretty customary that they pay. They buy you a plane ticket and book you a hotel. Pretty customary. There was once a great man called Barron whose statements weren't easy to fathom. So we all took a pew and became high IQ, except Gary, who's thicker than salmon. Talking about tiny Gary? Little 5'4" Gary? Dear sir, Edge. No disrespect to the jury around the world, but one more week before school starts, and these afternoon delights won't allow me lives. Not sure if I can handle that. I love the live shows and the chats. The chat plays on a replay, so you can watch the chat. You just can't participate in it, as watching a replay. We won't do it often, but it's going to happen from time to time. I understand. Hickory dickory dock. Oh, Andrew Dice, smoke boy. In my opinion, this debate is class versus pure trash. Well, that's your opinion. The other day, you mentioned your issue with mouth noises. I've had misophonia for decades. I can listen to you because you're one of the few podcasters who are aware of their sounds and don't lips smack. So thankful. Christ is king indeed. You'll notice I back up a lot from the microphone. That's when I do my mouth noise. And I've got a cough button because I have a horrible cough. And I'm not on Lisinopril. You guys always try to tell me I'm on blood pressure medicine every time I cough. I'm just old and asthmatic and have terrible lungs. It's just a part of it. And I have my noise gate set up pretty high. B, just want to say thank you for all you do. Truly, it means more than I think you know to more of us than I think you realize. Christ is king and D. Go Max. Oh, man. That's very kind, Kayla. Very kind. Thank God for Daisy. Daisy, you're getting high praise. Getting high praise indeed from Ivan. Smoke Boy, a.k.a. Little Pickle, isn't going to win any fans except Cake Snide Snake Bluff and Ann Judas Colvette. Big love to you and Daisy. Peace and love. There was a lot going on in that comment, sir. For the brave ones out there, please check out the interview of Ben Shapiro by PBD, released yesterday. Can't stomach them. Might say interesting things. Yeah, I can't. I can't do that. Daisy, get in here and keep the crowd going. Oh, Coach.
I meant to show it when you timed out, like when you lagged out for a second.
Oh.
I was so nervous and there was so much going on. I missed it, but I guess I started.
Yeah, I'll clip all that out when we do the post-production, but yeah.
Everyone was very patient. They were very nice.
They were very patient. I was very surprised. Log back in. There were more people on when I got cut off. Baron, you think Joe Rogan appearance by Andrew Wilson right around the time of the defense filing was intended to keep Candace focused on responding to the defense filing? I don't know. I can't divine people's intentions. Brandon Daisy, you should play a few minutes of Smoke Boy and Dave Smith not too long ago. Shows his frustrating tactics off well. I'm afraid he's going to do it tomorrow just to muddy the waters. Christ is king, indeed. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's a skilled debater. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And when he is losing, he resorts to those kinds of weird tactics. Define the word. What do you mean by that? I mean, come on. Let's just debate. Let's just talk about it. Let's just move forward. Number one from Covington, Louisiana. Why the crawl on the roof? I can only guess to avoid being seen. Never put up any of his own money. Smoke Boy never put up any of his own money. He only chimed in after his TPUSA field trip. Allegedly, it seems pretty obvious. It's always been their money and plan to suss out what Candace has waiting for them. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be undisciplined. I hope this debate is not used to get Candace to reveal anything she didn't want to reveal yet. I agree. I don't think she will. I'm worried the debate is just a way to get into Candace's home and plant doo-doo and surveil her, sabotage her computers and equipment. I hope Andrew and his team get patted down. Well, Smoke Boy wanted to do it on neutral ground. I think he proposed multiple different neutral ground options, so I don't know that was the original motive. Sounds like you're exactly poor. Well,
Just an update.
Yeah.
On the debate. It looks like it's pushed back again to 10 a.m. God's time.
Oh, good.
So it appears. They probably got the vibe that it was a little too early.
Well, that's early. That's early.
It is. It was. Yeah. Well, it was originally 9
a.m.
Yeah.
Who debates at 9? Like you got to get up, drink a couple coffees. You got to You know, if you're Andrew, you got to smoke 2.5 packs of Winston's. I mean, it's
Got to get them in.
things to do in the morning. Things to do in the morning. A Bugatti starts at 1.9 million for the Veyron. Oh, Ivan, did I get the okay car wrong? Okay, so what's a $200,000 car? I'm not rich. I don't know these things. Corvette. I mean, what's a $200,000 car? I don't know. I've come to the conclusion anyone who can't answer questions without bringing scripture into it are fakes, frauds. How can they believe in God and do what they do? It's a good question. I don't know the answer. Okay, yesterday you said Iceland was in trouble. How and who has bad plans for them? Iceland holds a special place in my heart after living there for 2.5 years. Well, the rabbi was up there, if that tells you anything that's going on up there. There's no way Andrew Wilson. You talking about Smoke Boy? Makes it through Friday's debate without throwing a tantrum and walking out on the show. He's weak like that. He can't handle her. I don't think he'll walk out, but I could see him doing his pesky little things and her just not buying into it. He served in the military for 1 year, never. Yeah, we covered that the other day. There's actually a copy, and I don't know if it's true, which is why I didn't show it. There's something going around online right now that supposedly confirms he did not serve at all. But feel like Candace being set up? Why allow the enemy to come pick her brain? TR's attorneys won't watch. She won't change his mind. He works for the dark side. Something isn't right. I feel it. Yeah, but she's making $300 for her troubles. So there's that. Why does he sound like he needs a midget horse? Ugh. One was bad enough. This is the poster child for bad stereotypes of MAGA that MAGA wasn't. Yeah, I agree. Sweet B, hubby 65 days sober. Congratulations. That's excellent, interior designer, Utah. Smoke Boy could join the wagon. His face would thin out quite a bit. Dear humble host, my wonderful husband and I love tuning into your show. Please wish Ray a happy and high IQ birthday. A humble listener. Ray, happy birthday. 65 years. 65 years. Hope you've made the best of them. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Go Max. Smoke Boy. Anytime you're feeling down, remember, Smoke Boy is 6 years younger than you. No. That guy's got to be 55 years old. He looks 70. Like, I bet Ray, who's celebrating his 65th birthday, I bet he looks younger than Smoke Boy. I'm telling you, alcohol and cigarettes, not good for your looks. If I was a gambling fool, I would bet TPUSA paid the $300,000 and he is crowdfunding his pay. I wouldn't bet against you. Smoke Boy sped up sounds like real-time Ben Shapiro. Fast-talking, slithery, and straight-up cringy. Off topic, but regarding your last member show, what are your thoughts on ancient buildings lining up with the equinox versus the poles? Christ is king indeed. Much thanks. I've not put a lot of thought into that. But it would still reveal change in the Earth's surface over time, right? Because the equinox would then move. So I think it would be the same. Smoke Boy did this to himself. He offered the money, then goes online to beg for money due to this financial burden and hardship on my family. Yeah, correct. Smoke Boy says the crowd will be hostile. But if the evidence is really on his side, why fear the room? Facts win a hostile audience, not excuses. Go Max. Yeah, he's already setting the stage for losing. You notice that, right? If y'all haven't watched Matan on Julian Dory, hilarious. I have watched several clips of it. And I've probably watched the first half. What's funny is when I went up there, Matan had just been there. Like he recorded before I did. You'll notice Julian has his old haircut in the Matan video. And Julian explained what the guy had done to his studio. And I couldn't believe it. And then I watched it unfold in real time. He's like, he was unscrewing my microphone. Like, I would fight somebody who started to unscrew this microphone. These are hard to get exactly the right tension on them. You start screwing stuff around and it messes with it. You never get it right again. He sprayed bleach and made a smiley face on his studio table. Why? But it was funny. The parts I saw were funny. Smoke Boy has at least enough money for unlimited microphones. I'm sure they don't react well to having smoke breathed on them constantly. Oh, I don't know. I haven't considered that. I'll be honest. I've been thoroughly entertained since CK went down. Shout out to CK in Heaven for the thrilling showtime, my brother in Christ. Yeah, but I mean, we would rather him be here. Like I don't like people dying young, and it's just nothing. No part of it that's good to me. Candace can't win. Purpose to taint the jury pool. Ongoing headlines. Candace could not win. PBD equals pro-Israel. What does it mean in live stream that era age? I don't know. We are not scared of his smoke boy things. She does hood rat things. I don't know if he's ever voted for somebody that does hood rat things with her hood rat friends. We're changing the world for... Does that make me a hood rat? I don't know that we've ever done hood rat things.
Y'all burned T-shirts.
Well, there's hood rat things available. Yeah, okay. Hood rat enough. We're changing the world for good. Keep grinding, B. Thank you. No one's questions for Smoke Boy. That's correct. Baron, are we sure it's a pickle jar? I thought it was an olive jar initially. P.S. Pickles are great for lady cramps. Fitting for Andrew. Gosh. I had no idea pickles were great. It could have been an olive jar, but the pickle jar meme is what has stuck. So in my heart, he'll always be a pickle jar guy. Did anyone from TPUSA endorse Andrew Wilson? You talking about Smoke Boy? Candace's most important condition, you ignored that line and used a joke about smoke-flavored pickles to disguise it. No, I've addressed that many times. She dropped that condition. We probably 10 times on the show I've mentioned that. Not ignoring anything here. We don't run away from things here. We don't ignore, we don't hide, we don't obfuscate. I was the one in his chat who said, great Andrew is compromised. Fingers crossed, Andrew admits defeat. He has before. You all agree more than disagree on a lot. I still like Andrew, but disagree. Yeah, but someone put up the 300,000, I'm guessing. And I don't know that that's going to permit him to admit anything. But that's just me. Smoke Boy, don't threaten us with a good time. Bring everything you got. Not sure what he'll talk about, considering our principal doesn't do that. Keep going Max in the paint. We love you. Keep it clean in the chat, guys. Andrew, Smoke Boy, just wants clips of him cussing at CO and calling her names to her face. He thinks it's good PR, but I think he might have to go into hiding afterwards. Well, we don't want to threaten Smoke Boy. We don't want him to be threatened. Good afternoon from Big Lake, Alaska. Evening. Despite our agreement on Charlie Kirk, Smoke Boy is an effective debater and has changed minds and makes great arguments. Candace will win, though. I've said he's talented. I mean, there's no debating reality. Spend weeks proudly bullying for debate, then put on a preemptive concession speech claiming future victimhood. Makes sense. It did not inspire confidence. Currently taking bets, Smoke Boy asks for a smoke break during debate. Wifey fills in for him during said break. I doubt that. Why was EK dressed like the guy on the roof during her last onstage appearance? Not the only time she's done it. Baron, could you tell again an email address you prefer, please? Yeah, realbaronpodcast@gmail.com. It's in the YouTube description. If you click the description, and not the description of the show, but like the page description, you click view more, it'll say address, and you click a button to uncover the address. I genuinely wish to give you a private message that I feel is important to Candace. I've sent it to her directly, but I fear she will be overwhelmed by emails. As are we. My husband listens to him all the time and calls Candace a witch. I'm very invested in her clearly winning and being more articulate tomorrow. Oh, she's plenty articulate. I do not trust PBD. Oh, no, I don't either. I do not believe he will be neutral. Oh, I don't either. After calling out TPUSA, Andrew Colvette called. Shortly after, PBD retracted his statement on YouTube and apologized to Andrew Colvette and TPUSA. PBD's an agent of the, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, of the consumers of little people. Not dwarves. I mean, like, people who haven't grown up yet. I'm pretty sure Patrick Bet David's family, father specifically, were the clothiers of the Shah Pahlavi before the 1979 revolution. Explains his alliances. I have no idea about that. Like, I'm not even sure that if my dad dressed somebody, I would be like super allied with them. I think there are other reasons. Baron, I'm giving it my best effort to quit the booze for life. Could you throw a little wisdom and encouragement in my direction? Big fan. Jacob Shownows. Daisy, will you chime in and tell him the name of the book?
The one I was talking about?
The one you always recommend.
Yeah, this is goes for smokers too. It was originally for smokers or vapors. The original book was called How to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr, but he does have a version of it for vaping, so how to stop vaping. And then he also has one for how to stop drinking. And it's Alan Carr, Carr. There's audiobooks too. It's great.
And all I would say is take it one day at a time. Break the day down into the smallest components you have to and get through that component. And then when you get done, don't worry about anything else. I'm going to make it to breakfast. I'm going to make it to lunch. I'm going to make it to dinner. Well, maybe I'm going to make it to tomorrow. And then all of a sudden it's I'll make it tomorrow. What? It's tomorrow. It's nothing. I got your back, brother. I got your back. Prayers, please. My husband, along with 2 friends, were killed while riding motorcycles. My husband and 2 friends were killed riding motorcycles? Benny's wife. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's been 27 months and preliminary keeps getting moved back due to DA being horrible. We just want this over with. I bet you do. Gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. And prayers indeed for you, Benny's wife. Prayers indeed. Please warn Candace that Smoke Boy could have ulterior motives like making her sick, or worse, making her sick. We can't trust him. He could bring a pathogen into her home. I'm sure she's thought of that. Wanted to say thank you so much for repeating yourself. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I used to like PVD, but they changed. It's disgusting how they talked about CO after CK. Also, they think people who work from home are lazy, which is ironic because, in my opinion, work from home due to COVID is what boomed the podcast industry. It didn't hurt it. I'll tell you that. It didn't hurt it at all. Okay, now I'm convinced they really tried to run The Rock for president. Yeah, I think that was a thing. I don't think that was a mistake. I think they were looking for somebody famous. TPUSA ever claim Smoke Boy? No. Surprised Candace trusts PBD. I am too. Worry Prego brain and emotion are clouding judgment. I am not. Listened to X Space last night. I hope you enjoyed it. Division and dishonesty on our side too. Frown face. Thank you, Go Max, for truth. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Hopefully Father Ripperger is on standby to bless Candace's house tomorrow. Yeah, that would be funny if he had if she had an exorcist, like right when he walked in, he's like, confess, boy. Let's get rid of this demon. And all of a sudden he gets on camera. He's like, I don't have any issues with Candace. We know who killed Charlie Kirk. It's obvious by now. In the arms of an angel. Absolutely hilarious. Love you, my B. Jesus loves you too. You as well. We're not exactly poor, bro. Okay, make it 500K. I'm going to have to make some calls. Then his video asks for donations. Look all serious like he's begging for shivering Chihuahua heart transplants. Shivering Chihuahua heart transplants. I'm stealing that line. One of two. One, can you look at PBD's debate promo vid? About 3 seconds in is an overhead drone view of UVU before event. Would have had to come from TPUSA. No, I think that was a fisheye lens from somebody hanging over the rail. Shawnee. Man, love when Shawnee chimes in. Thank you, Shawnee. Hope Candace prompts Smoke Boy to bring a nicotine patch, a helmet, and a hanky, excuse me. Call me when she gets back to the assignment. I don't think the house is absent of nicotine. If he needs nicotine, they got Alp. They got knickknacks. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Yeah. But thank you, Shawnee. 2 of 2. 2 of 2. I thought Smoke Boy wasn't representing TPUSA. So why would TPUSA be providing PBD with what I assume is exclusive footage to advertise it? That picture's been available. I've seen that picture before. He poked, taunted the bear, then maked himself out to be the victim. Typical. Thanks for all you do, Baron. Christ is King indeed. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate it. Mabi, deeply grateful for your work. Thank you for sharing your life with us. You're welcome. I don't know what Candace's end game is for doing this debate with something boy, but I trust her to make strategic decisions. Thoughts? I've been giving my thoughts all week. I'm good with her. What's her end game? I don't know. Just to shut him up, I guess. Maroon shirt stairwell footage is flipped. Explains the left-handedness. There's an emblem at the bottom of the backpack that flips. Might explain why limp changes sides. Tell Candace before debate. Candace knows the evidence better than anybody. So I believe that. I'm not just saying that. I do believe she does it better than anybody. So I think she'll be fine. Snacks for tomorrow's debate. Bull butter biscuits. Fakey Blakey cakey. Minty honey bites. Fakey Blakey cakey. I don't want to eat Blake's cake. Fan of all you, including Andrew. I've lost some respect for Andrew over this topic. But he is good at debate, so rather Candace is right or wrong, a debate might be fruitless. Can't wait to watch. Agreed. He's talented. No debate there. I took the day off for the debate. I can't wait. Wow, did you really? You better hope they don't cancel. Can't get that PTO back. I guess you go to the park or something. Pick Candace showed TR at Dairy Queen. He's wearing what looks like maybe sneakers, not Converse. Could that be his preference? A possible Lance lie. I don't recall what he was wearing. I'd have to pull the picture up. Yesterday's show, Utah rules 7B and 16 contradict you. I have no idea what you're asking about, but I don't believe that's true. Who else is considering calling into work for debate? Well, we had at least one. Was that you? No, that was Highlander. So apparently Highlander. 4 people. Why is she doing it? I believe she's going to drop some massive bombs, possibly nukes, to a smoke boy. Said he is their conspiracy liaison. Can't take that back. Yeah, his June or July appearance when we had that montage we played earlier, he was saying, "Oh, so now they got to come through me." That kind of sounds like you're their guy, and they've claimed you. Your U.S. ambassadors routinely tell us Poles who cannot be in our Polish government, and that's exactly why I'm voting. That's exactly who I'm voting for. Christ is King indeed. Oh, is that a fact? I did not know that. Doesn't surprise me, but I didn't know it. One of 2. Calling all Bear Knights wear a bun during the debate. If your hair's too short, be creative. I'm wearing my Battle Bun Messy, indicative of how our Candace Coalition and Battle Bun Bear Knights. I've lost you. I was looking for 2 of 2, and I don't see it. I believe you. I believe you. Baron, are you saying I shouldn't worry that Candace invited these 2 men near her, or that they might be boxing her in to make her look bad in the debate? The way you're putting this is starting to make me uneasy. I'm not trying to suggest anything other than he's a dishonest actor who is full of false bravado and sleazy debate tactics. But that doesn't make him a bad debater. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. I'm telling you, it's like Christmas Eve vibes. I want to sleep now and not wake up until 9 a.m. purely to see Candace wreck a random Fed slopper. It'll be interesting to see how many people tune in. Didn't Candace say TR had a granny in Panguitch and after Cowboy Smokehouse helped her with some chore overnight, then Cedar City, then home? I do believe she said Tyler had a granny in Panguitch. I don't recall whether or not she said he went over to help her with something after the smokehouse. I don't recall that. My B, PT scheduled and restarts Monday, 9 a.m. and vacay over. Good, Moon Goddess. Get on it. Get on it. Thank you. That's very kind of you, and I can't pronounce your name. I wonder if they distorted the aspect ratio to make Tyler thinner on Ring camera video of him walking along. Keep up the good work. It's a good question. It's a good question. Very well may have. My B, My wife loves hearing your laugh as she's falling asleep while I'm watching. Will you give Venus a shout out? Love you and your show. Venus, good night. Sleep, sweet dreams. Dream of the podcast. You are being educated. Smoke Boys, about to get smoked. It's my opinion. One of two. Baron, we're a family with children who have different levels of deafness. We heard you advocate for yourself and say you were deaf last night. My fourth grader is working on advocacy skills, but struggles with the what? What does she struggle with? Oh, here we go. 2 of 2. Hearing World. Do you know any ASLs to sign a word of encouragement? If not, you can wave and write a big Z across the screen. I don't know any ASL. I wear hearing aids. They make everything loud enough for me to hear them. And on the show, I can wear these. I'm not deaf. I just can't hear very well. Mostly deaf. Halfish. What's the problem? Oh, hold on. I skipped a few. Backing up. Chrome Dragonfly's idea. Everyone post your battle bun braids all over our favorite podcasters' social media tomorrow. That would be supportive. AW ridicules many leftists as grifters, and rightfully so. However, he's a hypocrite. His whole purpose to lure CO into a debate was solely to grift. Well, we don't know solely to grift, but might be a little grifting happening in his Gibson Go. I'm not sure. What's the problem? He was stupid enough to make the offer, and she was smart enough to take it. Go Max Candace. He's a pouty crybaby and will most likely have a temper tantrum in front of the world. I agree. I think he will debate. I think he will resort to sleazy, slimy, aggressive tactics that will not make him look good. That's just me, though. I could be wrong. Baron, I swore Julian's mug would read Fed Slop. And to my disappointment, it just read Baron Coleman. He lacked the grand jury fangirl vibes. So glad you made that interview happen. Yeah, I was surprised. Didn't know what he would say. PBD asked Beebster all the tough questions during his interview on August 26th, 2025. Shaking my head. A little preview, perhaps. Baron, PBD is a Syrian. Why would Iranians allow a Christian to lead them? By the way, I'm a Syrian from Iraq. I love you. Whatever that says. Malcolm Mashika means Christ is our king. Oh, thank you. I hope George has everyone searched before they enter the house and has extra security personnel on scene. I'm sure they're taking their precautions. Haven't caught any of the lives this week. Work is so busy. Denise? I'm allow it. I wanted to quickly say hi, Baron and his Daisy. My Daisy. Not my Daisy. Still catching up. I will be on the great debate wherever you are. Thank you for always being here and sharing truth. I'm doing my best.
Let's do a quick disclaimer because I see it a lot in my mentions the past week and in the chat the last few days. Guys, we are not married. I am not his daughter. We live states away.
Never met her.
Yeah, we're not related. So
not sister, not daughter, not wife, no relation.
Cousin, niece, none of it.
I say it a lot, and I always correct people, but I don't know why that persists. But yeah, Daisy's just Daisy. Battle bun, Bear Knight, wearing a battle bun during tomorrow's debate. Christ is king indeed. Go debate Max. She should start the live tomorrow with a pickle jar on her desk. I recommended that to her in person. Or just to gift him one. You know how Sean Ryan gives a gun or gives jelly beans or something? Andrew, here's a jar of Wickles. They're delicious. We don't allow eating on the set, so don't open them here. Like, give him an out to save face. Here's your pickle jar, but please, by all means, this is a serious set. We don't eat here, so you'll have to open them at home using a can opener, using some sort of device. Or get your wife to open them. Is the girl Smoke Boy's wife? I don't know who the girl... Oh, the girl in the woods? I doubt it. Loved the last Mimbo show. My questioning started when B7 claps out of sympathy for the twins. I've never heard it put that way. Will you be attending council for the debate? No, I don't think so. She's got a team. She's plenty. I mean, if she asked me to come by, I certainly would. But, they've limited how many people they can have, and I'm sure she'll have her normal team assembled. George is a real man father. Candace would accept nothing left. He will keep his family safe, no doubt. Christ is king, indeed. I agree with every word there. Brandon was curious about your sobriety. I haven't had a drink in 2.5 years. When you decided to hang it up, was it an easy decision? Also, are you a 12 milligram Alpo or keep it to the 6? So I've actually worked my way down. I was 9 and then I was 6 and now I'm 3. I'm on my way out. I'm trying to be done with it, but they're so delicious, especially this tropical fruit brand. So delicious. So yeah, I'm actually on my way down. If Out made 1.5s, I'd buy those. Just double barrel, I guess, when you needed it. Was it a easy decision? It was a necessary decision. I kind of compare it to like, I've never been fat, so this is probably a bad comparison. But like, say you're really fat and your doctor's like, look, you just got to lose weight. You're killing yourself. It's not easy, but I mean, it's easy to not eat. It's easy to not drink, but it's not easy. You know what I mean? It's not. So I think it kind of compares maybe to that. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've packed on a few extra pounds here and there. Don't get me wrong. I've been fluffy occasionally. Been fluffy. There's videos of me looking fluffy on TV, on the internet if you look them up. Could the girl be the she from TPUSA? Could be. I don't know. I mean, you could is a possibility. Could. I don't know. I'm not suggesting it is. Hi, Barbie. Now that you've said you've never met Daisy, I'd like to hear the story of how you two came together. You guys are a great team. She was pestering me with fantastic research.
It was a Wednesday afternoon. He replied to my no.
Oh, I was gonna say, was it? I don't know. Wow.
No,
Daisy
I just
remembers better
I just sent some emails.
Just an email tipster, and I kept thinking, man, this is every time she'd seen something, I'm like, who is this? The same person? This is great. This stuff's amazing. So I reached out and said, like, can I hire you? And she's like, no. I was like, please, no. And then I would continue using her stuff, and I was like, I feel bad. Like, I have to pay you something. So we worked something out. Took a shower mid-smoke boy donation request. Sent my Chihuahua super when I got out. Catching up ×2 and lost it when you rolled out McLaughlin. Then thought, oh man, B's going to think I stole it from him. No, I saw somebody else set that video to that song, and it was hilarious. Hearing about the meeting offering PBD the position of president of Iran. Really, the face of it further solidifies the theory that there's a global elite ring that actually makes the calls. Yeah, exactly, precisely. You just nailed it. Smoke Boy is not going there to debate CK's murder. He's going to get retribution for CO terrorizing EK and TPUSA. Well, he agreed to debate the claim, so he'll lose. Alex put up the money, then congenially suggests people help and pledge to offset costs. It's a scam. $5 pledges, he will make a fortune. PBD probably put up $200K. Mob boss, PBD, friend of Zion's game. I don't know who put up the money. I doubt it was him because he wasn't the first choice of moderators. What the hell is a Lububu doll is our favorite from you. I remember asking the question, and I'll be honest, sitting here right now, I don't remember the answer. My kids don't play with those demonic things or whatever they are. They play with Legos. You get Legos, kids. That's all you get. Lots of Legos. No, they get other stuff. Is it legal for courts to have and use compressed footage in court? Is the uncompressed ever shown? What are the ethics in your opinion? Love your show. If you're talking about the aspect ratio squeezing, I think it's immoral and probably unethical to use it and not explain that this has actually been squeezed and this is not the original. The question when you lay the foundation for evidence is this a fair and accurate representation? And it's not a fair and accurate representation if it's squeezed. Now, they don't have to do all that in a preliminary hearing, but I still think it violates the ethical code because that requires candor towards the tribunal. And that's not candor. That's misrepresenting it. So, by the way, Mrs. Coleman, we appreciate you. Plus, I say this with nothing but respect and honor. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, high five. Get it, girl. Golly. Psycho CRR indeed. No. Well, I'll leave that unaddressed. Sounds like, well, we do have 8 kids. Sounds like all the big Hollywood smokers back in the day. Bogart, a detective show or movie with a voice accent like that. He just reeks of some Hollywood back alley Slim Shady deal. LOL. I think it's a character. I mean, I think a lot of these people are like Dick Tracy characters. They're not like this in real life, right? I actually have been using this line for years. Around the January 6th thing, you know, everybody was a character. Scott Pressler's a character. You know, he's the tall gay guy with long hair. Roger Stone's a character. He's like the guy with the slick hair and smokes cigars and wears loud suits. You know, just go on down the list. Anybody involved? There was the guy in the brick suit, right? Brick suit guy. He's a character. And I think Andrew's a character. I think he just plays a character. I don't think that's who he is in real life. I mean, he probably wears silk pajamas and cries himself to sleep. But then he gets on air and he's like, smoke boy. Dick Tracy character. Smoke boy was pretending to be Edward R. Murrow. What a complete joke he is. Amazing journalistic work, B, discovering all about the Moderator. You are spot on with what has become politics, total corruption. I agree. Saw someone say Ashtray Andy, and I can't stop laughing. Now that's funny. Barron, for the overhead of the Losi Center, the police markers for the prone figure on the roof appears to be too far away from the ledge, inward, to be seen and videoed from the ground. I don't have an opinion on that. I'm willing to take your word for it. Our humble host talking about other countries deciding who are president sounds a lot more plausible than it once did. Seems like they decide much more than that, as was made clear with Massey and Charlie Kirk. Where's the excavator in relation to the Woods car? Well, lucky for you, I still have the picture up, so I can show you precisely where that is. So here is, let me pull this down so you can get a full gander. Gander's an underused word. So here's the gun where the orange marker is, in these woods somewhere. It's been said that it was near the chicken coop right here, but we don't know, so I just put the marker down in the middle. The excavator is over here. There's your excavator, one of these 2 excavators. Again, this is as it appeared on September 10th. And so there's the gun. There's the excavator. Over here towards this red marker is where he ran. And then way up here is this orange marker up here where the car is. So see the what I don't understand if he needs to be over here. There's a perfectly fine road right here for him to walk up. Why did he come this way to backtrack over here? It doesn't make sense, which is why I think they ignored it in the preliminary hearing. It doesn't make sense. And if you take it at face value that was him running around, you know, all the TV shows are like, that's him. What's he doing over there? That's not where he parked. Robbie, thank you. The same circle around his live boom is the same circle around the guy demanding a live debate. I didn't like it. I don't like it, B. Can you drive over to her house and kidnap her long enough to miss the event? No. I am not a felonious guy. I don't commit felonies in my free time. You know, after the show post tonight, I'm officially off for 2 days. I have no intentions of engaging in kidnapping. I bet George will help. Oh, I don't think George. Now, if George was kidnapping her, is it? I don't know. Maybe that's still kidnapping. Also, shout out to your doppelganger, my husband, Matt. Oh, Matt sounds handsome. Matt sounds very handsome. Shout out, Matt. You sound very handsome. Same circle around his live boom. Thank you for that. Very kind. That woman said the girl gave him clothes in Candace's video of them backtracking his exfil. Yeah, I do remember that, but that video just said stuff. So I'd have to go back and see, was there a second video or something? Smokey, Smokey. We've changed him. Now he's Tennessee's mascot. Just paid for advertising for himself. How many of us have never heard of him before this? I hadn't. Asking for prayers. Back to nursing school next week. Congratulations. You don't know this, B, but you're my study partner. Christ is king indeed. Well, you're going to make straight A's then. It's a very high IQ outfit. Is it possible the new texts to Twiggy were sent after he was with the cop family friend? That he is responding with the information the cop who took him into Twigs. I mean, it's possible, sure. We don't have timestamps. Nothing about the show today. Just wanted to wish all the students and parents a blessed school year. May God bless you and keep each of you. My nephew leaves for Texas A&M Sunday. Time is a thief. Indeed, it is indeed. My kids started back to school this week, and my son goes to college Monday. He moves fast. Baron, I've always been suspicious of the white truck van change up in the dirt area. Yeah, that did happen. That did happen. Sorry, just caught up on your previous chat, EK and TC. That's correct. We talked about that. Sorry in advance. No need to apologize. I'm a very forgiving man. Debate was successful at two things: forcing the previously unknown smoke boy upon us and disrupting all the good podcasts this week. No disruption here. I've enjoyed it. We don't think he was limping because he jumped off a building rather than because of an alleged rifle. Well, afterwards, maybe he was limping because he jumped off a building. I don't think before he would have jumped off the building before. One of two. On the fence, if I'm going to watch the debate, don't think I can listen to Smoke Boy. Adriana, can I call you out on something? You're going to watch. I know you, Adriana. You've been a commenter for almost a year now. You were a commenter when I only had a few dozen people live. You're going to watch. It's okay. You don't have to tell me a tale. Tell me a tale. Or, this is not Adriana's 2 of 2. Or is the girl the lady mentioned instead the female TPUSA contact CO mentioned in her show that TR allegedly talked to prior to the Big Bang? I don't know the answer to that. But I do know the answer to this. 20 people have access now to Membos. Let me explain how the Membo gifts work, because I get this comment all the time. If you're watching live and you're live in the chat and someone gives a membership, that membership will randomly fall on someone's head. You'll be notified. You'll have a chance to accept it. That's how it works. So the memberships that are gifted are given live, nearly instantaneously. And Shawnee has provided that gift to 20 people, which is incredibly kind. Thank you. They'll get access to all the members episode, and they'll be a member for a month now. So for the next 4 member shows, they'll be able to watch those as well. Thank you, Shawnee. Very kind. Did you happen to catch Officer T crashing out over the HD double D 4K images? Swore in his children's lives he's telling the truth. It looked like evil took over his body. I did see that. I did not come to the same conclusion that it looked like he was demonically possessed in the moment, but I do believe he is swearing the truth that what he saw is what was played in the courtroom. I don't believe what he saw in the courtroom was what was captured on the security camera. Adriana's back. Number 2, add in PVD and I may vomit. Why would Candace be okay with him? Your thoughts? I think she wanted no excuses. Get a biased moderator, get a biased debate partner, bring in his biased team. Let's see what happens. My B, taking a vacation tomorrow so I can attend the great debate. My full-time job is aware of my part-time job as a private investigator. Do they know you spend as much time as you do on the grand jury? Be honest. It's okay. You don't have to tell anybody. Our little secret. Candace and her husband are worth $250 million. I have not heard that and don't believe that, frankly, but I don't fault anyone for being wealthy. 300,000 is nothing to them. Do you think Gary, A.K. Graham, etc., believes they are truly right? No, I don't believe they believe they're truly right. Particularly not Andrew Colvett. Gary and Graham might be low IQ enough to buy the Fed slot, but I don't think so. I am confident that I'm right, that Andrew doesn't think he's right. But, man, I'm open to being wrong. I'm not saying he's in on it. Don't sue, Andrew. But hey, I don't care if you're Bill Gates. $300,000 is a lot of money. You can do a lot of stuff with $300,000. B, keep it up. We are so proud of you. Any super chats for Candace on debate night? Should list for Candace only. Let's get those numbers soaring. Any super chats for Candace on debate night? Should list for CO only. What does that mean?
I think they might think that the super chats would all go to one stream. But in reality, it just depends on whose chat you're in. So like if someone's watching it on Andrew's channel and sends a super chat, then obviously he's going to get that super chat. So just make sure you're watching it on Candace's channel, guys.
Yeah, if you send a super on Candace's channel, it will go to Candace's channel. If you send a super on PBD, it'll go to PBD's channel. That's just the nature of how YouTube works. Even when you jointly do it, you're still watching only one channel. So like if Trigger Smart and Real Baron Podcast simulcast something, we're both doing it at the same time. The person who gets the super chat is which channel you're watching, which is why, like, I watch Danks and Bays on Saturday night. It's a great show. I love it. If I send a super chat, I always send the equal amount to each of them. I don't want to play favorites. They're both doing a good job. So if I'm throwing $50, I'm doing it twice. C should have a cuss jar on her desk, and every time he spews profanity, he has to put it on another 1,000 to her payday. Yeah, will he have to open it first? Because then he won't be able to use it. It'd have to be can you open the pickle jar? That's going to be our cuss jar. No. As I watch the opening, outstanding, by the way, I think about those that precariously accuse B of lies and worse. Baron is a true gentleman, beyond comprehension to the vile man boys. Now, let me address that for a second. A lie is an intentional misrepresentation of the truth, meaning you are intending to represent the truth in a way that is not accurate. You're representing something that's not true, and you're doing it on purpose. People get things wrong, right? If I say the Yankees won the World Series last year, and I truly believed it at the time, and I didn't know the Dodgers won. I just thought the Yankees won. I'm not lying to you. I'm just wrong. Now, if I know the Dodgers won, and I'm like, no, the Yankees won, now I'm lying. See the difference? And I think what happens is people disagree with a conclusion of mine. Like, I've concluded that Tyler Robinson very likely turned himself in before the Discord chats. I have reasons for that. I've listed them on Julian Dory's show. I've listed them here a million times. There's lots of context clues that give me that indication. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I just got it wrong. It's not a lie unless I know for a fact. Like, I was there at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. I have no basis to conclude that he turned himself in early, but I say it anyway. That's a lie. And so you got to be careful when you're accusing someone of lying. You have to know they know the right answer. Baby Moon's birthday today. She's 30, not a baby anymore. Oh, she's still your baby, Moon. Still baby Moon. George Farmer. What? I don't care, so don't say it. But B, who cares? That's not Candace. And even if it was, who cares? Can you contact the map company to see if you can get the original image? I mean, I can. It's a good call. I could try. In the stitched road section, there's a little white vehicle, top right. Possibly look for that same vehicle in a different section of the map. Could have been pasted in. In the stitched section, there's a little white vehicle. Let me see if I can find that little white vehicle. Hold, please. I just want to know. Okay, I see the little white vehicle. No, so I think that white vehicle is in an unstitched section. And the stitched section has no cars or anything. I think they just replaced that little patch of road right there. They didn't do a very good job of it, in my opinion. Rhetorical question is stipulated in testimony of all the DNA on the alleged rifle. TR was the most degraded. How can he be the last to handle it? I'm not a DNA expert. That's going to be for somebody else. I don't know how to answer that. All I know is that the conclusion was his was the most degraded. Barcole, take Friday off. Family is so important. Well, I agree, and I absolutely am going to take Saturday off. I try to take Saturday off every week. But I intended to take both full days off, and then the debate was scheduled. So I'll watch the debate. If it's 10, that'll be 10 to 2-ish, give or take. And then I could have the rest of the afternoon off. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what the family has planned and all that. EK offered TC the host job at Charlie Kirk's show. I don't know why he would take that. Tucker has one of the most successful podcasts in history. I wouldn't leave that. Another example, Isla Morada, I've been there, by the way, is offering 5 Mimbos. YouTube has kicked me out twice off the live stream and took me to the beginning. Has this happened to anyone on the show? Oh, hello, my bee. Oh, hey, sorry to interrupt you. You may continue. I don't know if it's happened to anyone else. It kicked me off. Maybe the 3 in black are the 3 with the bald man who was driving the Dodge Challenger. Maybe she was trying to get on the ground floor of Tucker Inc.'s new political party. Christ is king indeed. I hadn't even considered that. I doubt it. Hopefully he wouldn't do that. My 2-year-old grandson, Onyx, cracked up when you smoked like Smoke Boy. We had to rewind several times. 2-year-old's giggle is priceless and oh so precious. Thank you for the joy you bring my family, B. Christ is king indeed. Thank you for the joy you brought me by telling me that. And genuinely, you did. Humble host, 2 Dory shows, now top 2 in views. Sorry, missed lives lately, but security guys set tent, 99%. I saw video of flood, inching chair into position. Yeah, we did cover that. Top 2 all-time in views. He had some really big podcasts. I find that difficult to believe. But I will be the judge of that. I haven't looked in a while. Julian Dory, videos. So there's one, your humble host, 858 with Joseph Scott Morgan, and the other one's 811. Wow. I ought to have myself on my own show. Seems to do well. Maybe I should try having me on this channel. Seems to be successful. Daisy, can you schedule me for a live?
I was just about to say, we need like a special guest, Baron Coleman.
Yes, apparently it works. Wow.
Just an interview on the Baron Coleman channel.
That's almost 1.7. I'll put myself on your side and me on my side, and I'll talk to myself.
Yeah, we'll do it like this.
Yes, maybe it'll be magic. And I'll just keep flipping back and forth.
That'll be good.
I'll zoom in every now and then for effect, because he does that. He zooms in and then he zooms out.
Yeah, he does a cut and it's like right up there. I'm like, wow.
You know what I just sit here and every time I make a point, really look forward.
Wait. Wait, that's kind of funny.
There I was walking around.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it happen. There she was, just a walking down the street singing "Do Wah Diddy Diddy Dum Diddy Do." Love you, B, and this great community. Thank you. There she was, just why is everybody singing the "Do Wah Diddy" song? Did I say something? Would send a membership gift as soon as I figure out how. I don't know how either. I've done it, but I can't talk you through it. But this person figured it out. Maybe ask Shelly. Can we watch Candace with you? Is that possible? Christ is king indeed. No, because I think it would be immoral to simulcast her program while she's doing it. I mean, I would have real issues with. I wouldn't want someone doing that to me. I mean, a lot of cost goes into producing a podcast. There's a lot of production. There's a lot of, and to like take her views away. And then, each one of those views is like a 30th of a penny or something. If 100 of you watch it, it's like a penny. I don't want to take that away from her. Like 3 pennies. Got my Bad Cop hoodie today. Love it, just in time. Wow, Bad Cop hoodies are hitting the streets, guys. You better watch out. Day 3 of sobriety. Thankful for this community. Esther, I just want to be honest. Days 4 through 7 were the hardest for me. So buckle up, get some good sleep. Try to keep your stress levels down. Don't let your blood sugar drop. Eat protein and fat. Keep your blood sugar up. You'll get through it. You get to day 10, it's smooth sailing from there. It's just mental grind after that. So keep it up, Esther. Keep it up. But I don't want to lie to you and be like, you're past the hard part. You're about to enter the hard part. But keep it up. Use that as motivation. Baron did it. All these other people in the chat did it. Esther can do it too. Esther can do anything. I'm praying for you, Esther. Make it happen. Due to Lance's reluctance to identify TR, do you suspect they both defected from their assigned roles after realizing they were meant to pass from this mortal plane? Maybe. Maybe he's got a little survivor's guilt. I don't know. It isn't lost on me that Charlie Kirk mentioned the Hannibal stand down and plan to ethnically cleanse Gaza post October 7 on PBD. Nope, not lost on me either. Not lost on me either. Hair down to give him a false sense of safety. Duly noted. If that's Shaner's recording and says I could have been there and shudders, but in a news article he says he was there and with his ward and they dogpiled after the shot. So which is it? That's been bugging me. I haven't seen that clip. Daisy, make a note. We'll find it. We'll play it. That's an interesting take if that's true. Matinee timing is very good. Love it. Greetings from hot and humid Houston. Ugh. Edge. We've got people asking for matinees, so I'm a populist at heart. You know, if the people want matinees, I'm going to give them one occasionally. Tampa Bay Rays hold the best record in Major League Baseball. 9 straight wins. Great show tonight. Learned a few things about PBD. Tomorrow will be good. Christ is king indeed. Michaela, you don't have to rub it in. You don't have to rub it in. But my dad is a Rays fan, so I'll allow it. I'll allow it. He's a big Rays fan. They get all the Rays games where he lives. Battle Bob. A Battle Bob. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Candace will tie her hair and hide under black hat. Oh, my gosh. If Candace comes out dressed like Psycho Erica in the black hat and black shirt, I will lose it. I will lose it. Oh, my goodness. Daisy, I got to run my bad cop hat over there tonight.
Oh, my gosh. I was thinking that. Imagine
I
her
gotta
in a
run it
backpack
over there.
hat. That would be so fun.
She's going to throw it at her door and leave. And then, like, afterwards, be like, there's a hat on your door.
Wear it.
Wear the hat. Wear the hat. That is awesome. That is awesome. Good call. Good call. Also, would explain why he wouldn't recognize any prior incriminating statements of TR against CK. Agreed. Owen Benjamin for Secretary of Interior. Well, he's got some experience with his Bertaria. Play it there. She might do battle bun with a side braid. Do both haircuts at once. Are you blowing my mind on purpose? A battle bun with two little braids coming down the side. That might be a little too on the nose with PBD in the room. Who's paying you? Brandy gives off evil Miss Rachel vibes. You talking about Brandy Zadrozny? Cat lady? Number one fan from Spanish Fork, Utah. Christ is king indeed. Oh, you're right there in the action. Who would Smoke Boy say Candace fans don't want him to ask questions? It's literally what we're doing. Yeah, that's correct. Ask all the questions you got, Smoke Boy. I voted Battle Bun, but headband would make him look like he's losing to a kid. Best to you, Daisy, Nurse Casey, family, and our community. Christ is king indeed, indeed. Can you repeat what time and where to watch, please? Candace Owens' channel. We'll be featuring it live. I think it also will be simulcasted on the PBD channel. I'll be watching on Candace's channel. I think Daisy has said it has been bumped to 10 a.m. God's time. That would be 11 on the East Coast, 9 a.m. out on the left coast, and the mountain people will get it at 8 a.m. on the left coast.
Did you call it the left coast?
Yeah. Left coast. They're all leftists out
Okay.
there.
Oh.
They're all leftists.
I've never heard that. That's funny.
There's not a conservative out there.
That's funny.
There are, but they're just outnumbered. Greatly outnumbered. If you can see the water, if you can see the Pacific Ocean in this country, there's like a 98% chance you're a leftist. So that's the left coast. Maybe 96% chance. They're like Europeans over there. So that's where. So it'll be 10 o'clock God's time, 11 o'clock on the East Coast, 8 a.m. on the left coast, and 9 a.m. for mountain people. This Shaner guy sounds like he's giving a parents' weekend style tour. Like he's proud of a campus project he was part of, and he's trying to find the locations for it. Super proud and cool. That's dark. Bringing popcorn tomorrow for the matinee. Christ is king indeed. Go Max Candace. I'd love this idea of everybody posting their battle buns and their battle braids to her social media. I'm tagging her, and I love it. I love it. Or when she posts the show, this is a great idea too. When she posts the show, because she always posts on X where her show's going to be. When she posts the show, comments, battle buns, battle braids. It'd be great. It'd be great. The point of debating is to, I don't think I finished that one. She's going to speak confidently and focused tomorrow and look amazing doing it. I can't wait to see what she wears. I hope it's the psycho assassin outfit that Erica wore. I don't really, but that would be funny. I would at least laugh for a second. The point of debating is a show we're open to discussion. We use the same argument against the libs in 2016. I think these conversations with people who disagree are important because the gravity of what this all means. Thanks for all you do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Baron, you had me until you liked MSU. I'm a diehard maize and blue girl. The only green to me is EMU. I love your sense of humor. Christ is the ultimate king. Hail to the victors valiant. Hail to the conquering heroes. Hail, hail, Michigan. Champions of the West. I don't know your whole fight song, but I know that word's in there. You act like I sang it correctly and be proud. Be proud. Hey, Baron. When Jack P. and the rest of them said they saw 4K and lied about it, what does the judge think when he's seen it with them? He probably thinks they're full of bull butter. Gary Paramount, not so tactical as an angry elf. Christ is king indeed. He's just a tiny little guy. Let's give him a break. I'd be angry too. Andrew, you talking about Smoke Boy. Seems like he's using phrases or words that start arguments about what the word means. I hope she makes him define his words. Maybe PBD could referee disputes about meanings. It'd be a good opportunity for PBD to step in and say, guys, we both know what you mean. Let's use the common definition. Here's what she's saying. Is that correct? Okay, now let's go on. Let's not do this nonsense. But PBD's a hack, so we will find out. Wish I could request you for the debate to call objections for legal purposes. Gavel and all. I've got one. I'll sit over there in the corner like this. Objection! I dropped it. Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation. Assumes facts not in evidence. Relevance. 403B. No speaking objections, sir. When their people start objecting, they're like, no speaking objections. Just state the rule. Yeah. I'm willing and able. She also needs her granola and stop anti-Candaceism cup. Off topic, why was Charlie seated so high up? I think we all know the answer to that last question. Shawnee, you already gifted 20 Mimbos. You gifted another 20? Guys, take advantage of these and give Shawnee some love. Wow. Thank you, Shawnee. Thank you. So PBD brought Charlie to his podcast while digging his grave or knowing something about it. He always seemed like a clown to me. Now it's confirmed. That's your opinion. I'll allow it. Go Steelers. Still disappointed in the Nick Harper tackle, if I'm being honest. Still disappointed. Divisional playoff game, 2004, 5. At Indianapolis. Nick Harper picks up a fumble towards the end of the game. He runs back. His wife had just stabbed him in the leg the week before, and so he's not very swift that week. He gets tackled. They burn down the clock. They bring in Mike Vanderjack. He's supposed to be Mr. Automatic. And he misses a field goal, and the Steelers go on to win the Super Bowl that year. And I'm very disappointed, and I don't want to talk about it. Yes, I remember things like that. Baron, can you give a shout out to my nonverbal 4-year-old Emery? She signs B every time you're on and gets happy. Love your voice. When she's upset, I put on your Clips channel and let it run. Always makes her happy. Emery, that makes me happy. Glad to hear from you. Larry Loomer spilled the beans before Tucker's drop of Hunter's laptop coming from the Beepster. EK and Loomer seen together recently. Wonder if EK planted the bug for Loomer to get the scoop at Tucker's. Ooh. That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. How did she find that out ahead of time? So excited for debate. I chose braids. Love you, B. Christ is king indeed. I'm excited. It's going to be one of those nights where you wake up, like you got an early flight and you wake up every hour. You're like 1 o'clock. You're like, am I late? Am I late? Oh, okay. And you wake up at 2:15. You're like, am I late? Oh, okay. 3:12. You're like, oh, I got 8 more minutes to sleep. You look a little like Terrell Farnsworth announcing that Charlie Kirk died. He's dead. Please tell Candace Owens to take a pre-debate pick with Smoke Boy to out him for being short once and for I don't. He's not as short as Gary, so what difference does it make? Why is nobody mentioning Smoke Boy tweeting about AK being R-worded before TPUSA hired him? Yeah, I didn't know he tweeted about that, but I know he talked about Eric Kirk. Thankful for you, Mrs. Coleman, Daisy, Nurse Casey, and our high IQ family. You fill my days and nights. You fill mine as well, she rocks. Roof footage. Strange zoom when person is far left. His shadow, still visible, seems to linger. Meets car, then veers back towards the building. I'll have to check that out. That's interesting. I've not caught that. Mrs. Smoke Boy. Smoke Girl. Smoke Boy's wife was on Rogan back in February. 3 smoke visits in a year? All right, Joe, you got some splaining to do. You only do like a show or 2 a week. It's starting to become a healthy percentage of smoke. If you were modding, what'd you do if Smoke Boy went off on CO? Well, I mean, it just depends on the nature of it. I don't think you can have a set, like you're not allowed to get upset. There are times when being upset is perfectly fine in a debate. But if it was one of this pedantic, stupid arguments, I would say stop it. No, we're not going to do that right now. You know, let her speak. Let her give her a chance to talk. Likewise, if she was, I mean, I would be neutral. If she was going off on him and it was unwarranted, I would say, oh, it's not how we're going to do this. Let him talk. He was answering you and you're talking over him. I don't like people talking over each other. I don't hear well. And so when people talk over each other, I just instantly start tuning out. I was paid member of the Crucible Smoke Boys podcast for years. After this clear sellout, I pulled my sub and now a member of Barons. Well, thank you, Altio Romanus. Welcome to, glad to have you. Welcome in. Can you and Tucker please make an episode? I just want to hear both of you and Tucker laugh. Love your contagious laughs. What if I tickled him and he tickled me with his, like my laugh, let's say my laugh tickled him and he started, he did his laugh and then his laugh tickled me and I started laughing and then he got going. We would not get anything done. Yes, Tucker, coming for you. We're going to laugh together. That's all we're going to get accomplished. 3 hours of just us cracking each other up, and then we like, all right, that's enough. I got to go to the bathroom. Smoke Boy appears to be an utterly gross human being. I mean, that's an opinion. We're not stating that as fact, Smoke Boy. Pray for him, his wife, and others who are behaving this way publicly. Christ is king, indeed. Were you really Googled a lot from Arizona yesterday? I haven't checked that out. I heard that on the thing, but I'm not going to look it up. I doubt it. Or maybe I was. I don't know. I don't care. Ops with George footage. What fell CO said 13 phones were tracked. Security said he had 12 men on ground. Could 13th phone been a P word? Also, text messages sound like Tyler sent them to Lance. Someone on that last point, someone said that yesterday. When you go back and read them that way, it does kind of sound like that. If we're being honest, it does kind of sound like that. I don't know about the phones. I don't have any information about the phones. I was not included in that drop. Happy birthday, Ray. It's my birthday as well. Hope everyone is having a great day. Christ is king indeed. Prayers for Candace heading into tomorrow. Not a bad idea at all. And happy birthday, Miss Pennypacker. Happy birthday, Miss Pennypacker. Not a bad idea to be praying for Candace. Pray for everybody, though. Smoke Boy needs prayers, too. Probably desperately, if I'm being honest. On Tucker's podcast with Hunter Biden, Tucker said in the same sentence that that he loves EK and CO. I was a little disappointed to hear him say that. Well, is what it is. A Smoke Boy. has been running his podcast, The Crucible, on YouTube for the past 6 years. First as Big Papa Fascist, then as Smoke Boy 3 years ago. Big Papa Fascist?
No, that's true.
I know they say it, but there's some things that even though you know it's true, you just don't believe. Like you tell me Building 7 collapsed at free fall speed, and I know it happened, but I don't believe it. And then I watched the video, I'm like, oh yeah, it did, didn't it? Surely that, yeah, it did. Smoke Boy, you big dummy. Gary, you have a brother in idiocracy. Christ is king indeed. Ivan, behave. Baron, about the creepy coffin video. Keeping in mind the autopsy didn't describe damage to CK's face. Weird, there's no video showing his in casket. The body was morbid enough. Let's leave his face out of it. The body was morbid enough. Ugh. I still can't believe she did that. Do you ever wonder if the Fed slop and screw-ups are purposely put out because they want reasonable doubt? No, but now I will. Thanks for the update, Daisy. I'm in Australia, and now I can sleep an extra hour, then head to work after the debate. Well, good. Glad we could work around your schedule, Raleigh. Remember the unusual cars outside TR and LT's place before the assassination? If true, one or both were coached. Did TR chicken out and feds use stand-ins? Would explain the footage gaps? I don't know. That requires a lot of assumpting. Ironically, George is going to be smoking his cigar outside, waiting for the debate to end. It'd be even funnier if he smoked it inside. That would be even funnier if he was like, "No smoke, boy. You can't smoke in here. She's pregnant." We don't allow that around here. Not from Smoke Boy. Smoke Boys. Gibson go up to 65. Thank you for the update. How were they having conversations about PBD becoming president of Iran in July of 2025 when the war didn't start until February 28th of 2026? It's almost like I was right. Don't want to pat myself on the back too much. Baron's in the Hood Rat Pack. Oh, I didn't know. See, I learn new things every day. What she said, X has EMP Substack and sent email. I've read it and referenced it on air. AI said out of CO Fed photo, Fed was comp. Try it. I don't know what that means. Hi, Baron. I need to know your thoughts on Lindsay Clancy trial and Kevin Reddington's masterclass on criminal defense. I don't have any because I've been prepping for these shows every day, so I haven't been watching it. My sister has been tuned into a good bit of it, and I've talked to her a little bit about it, and she said the defense attorney is doing a very good job. The only thing, she's a medical professional, so she had a little issue with some of the medical testimony he was eliciting, and she said it just sounded like he didn't have a mastery of that area, which is not surprising. But she said other than that, he's doing a pretty good job. She said she's learned a lot in the trial about the case that she didn't know, which happens. Can we get a members show with Daisy? Interested in her history and experience. She pops in from time to time, and we've had shows with her, but we could do a whole show with her one day. Can you get Map to CO? Can you get Map Company to send original images to see what was edited? Christ is king indeed. I might reach out and ask, actually. Still investigating AES. Tried sending YouTube channel. Fox 13 Tampa Bay video on 10/11/25. Timestamp 155. Sheriff of Humphreys County. Talks about phones going off at time of explosion. Did you see it? I did not. But I'll look for it. Thank you. That's good intel. Stupid fall. Ruptured right pec muscle. It's a weird way to fall. Surgery might be needed. We'll learn this Tuesday. Scary thought for this almost 70-year-old. Still typing with left hand and watching under meds. We'll never miss a show. Christ is king indeed. You sound dedicated. Thank you. And you even figure out how to work the little YouTube supers slider with your left hand. That's tough. That slider is tricky. Don't let it slip too far to the right and do a $500. No refunds. No, I kid. But I pray for you. I wish you the best of luck, Annie. I think someone from TPUSA may call in tomorrow, like how Andrew's wife called in to argue while he stepped out for a smoke. If so, who? I think Blake. No one's calling in. Let's dispatch with that foolishness. Smoke boys smoking gherkins. Smoke boy. All right. I have to admit, I don't love this whole debate debacle. I like that poetry there, though. Seems to minimize the seriousness of this trial and possible op. Thank you and Daisy for your hard work. I don't think so. I disagree with you there. Hi, Baron. The debate time has been changed to 11 a.m. fast time, but please do confirm. I think Daisy confirmed. We're talking 10 a.m. God time. 10 a.m. God's time. Thoughts on the recent suspected AI video of EK? I'm a believer. At Daisy's insistence, I watched Nissy, and not only because I would have watched it anyway because I watched almost everything Nissy puts out, but I wasn't aware she'd put it out. Daisy let me know that Nissy did a whole show on this, and I believe. But I'd already come to that conclusion, and it's because the audio doesn't match. Like, studios have sound. My studio has a sound. I've got sound paneling in here. I've got soundproof curtains. I've got, a soundproof mat on the desk so that things don't reverberate. Studios have sound. And Charlie Kirk's studio has a sound. And everything she's ever produced out of that studio has a similar sound, except for one video. The green video. The I can't make it to the thing I signed up to go to video. And I think it's AI. That video is unlike anything she's ever done. Did you see Coach's suggestion on Daisy's shirt? I want one badly. Love you both. No, I didn't, but I need to find it. Did you see it?
Oh my gosh. He was just saying like a get a Daisy shirt, which we do have one, but I'm making a new one and I'm literally staring at it right now.
Oh,
so
well, don't give us a preview.
I'll be running that by you.
We want to surprise everyone.
We do.
Surprise everyone when it hits the store. Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, we saw it. We're working on it. I live 20 minutes away from Tucker. It makes me ill when I think about that evil witch, Erica, in our beautiful state of Maine. Love you, B. Well, that's your opinion. PBD had Smoke Boy on the show to debate about 1 month ago, worth watching. Duly noted. Smoke Boy has already earned his $300,000 in popularity from just getting mentioned on RBP and Candace platform. This debate will be life-changing for Smoke Boy, regardless win or lose. Maybe. How do you think PBD will conduct himself? Like a snake? Like a slimy, slithery snake that he is? I think he will make it about himself. Agreed. And only there to boost his numbers. Agreed. Well, not only to boost his numbers, but also to tilt everything. And Christ is king indeed. Indeed. He's an admitted drifter. He literally does what he calls grift sessions several times every show where he stops everything and takes super chats. Similar to what Barron does, but for different reasons. Well, can't fault him for that. Thanks for helping me explain my point last night on Spaces. Populism died with CK cover-up. I pray that Tucker and Candace or someone can bring us back. ITMT Rosary, Holy HR, and Confession to get in heaven. On the populism point, the point we were making, I think this is the woman from California, if I recall correctly. I think that's when I made the point. It was towards the end of the night, so I was tired. But someone said that there's nothing that's happening anymore. Like, all the populist movements on the right are dead. The Tea Party died. The COVID-19 movement, it's dead. There's no like real anti-Iran war movement. Everything's just dead. There's no gatherings of Republican populists, right-wing populists. And I think that's not due to Charlie Kirk dying, but I think he died as part of that effort to stamp out right-wing populism, try to force everybody back into the uniparty. Candace could give Smoke Boy a pair of rubber-palmed gloves, and they grip jars and make them easy to open. That would be even better. Just presume he can't open them. Be like, here, Smoke Boy, here's a gift of pickles, and I have some rubber gloves that will help you open them. And George is back there. If you still can't do it, he'll open it for you. Wave, then right, Z. He knows you're signing to him. Thanks, Baron. He's confused why you just wrote Z. Sorry, I don't mean to confuse people. I love the show, but it feels like we're showing prosecutors exactly what it would take for the public to accept a guilty verdict. Well, I mean, prove the case. Prove the case. If you've got enough to prove the case, then he may have done it. I don't know. I don't think think so. Wow. Those are L-bucks. Thank you. That's very kind of you. SJ-ism. ESJ-ism. Well, thank you. Regardless of how you pronounce your name, thank you. Very kind of you. Is that where he took the shot? That's the Losi Center. Not, yes, that's the Losi. Sounds off. Maybe just me. I'll have to go back and listen to that. It didn't sound off to me at the time. I'm experiencing the same type of anxiety I felt for 2 days before Charlie's event. I pray it has nothing to do with our queen. I hope you're wrong, Helga Lega Shing Dong. Helga Shabalaba Ding Dong. I know you were there. Mabi, any thoughts or knowledge on Joe Feltz? Might be a good member show topic. Jesus love you. Christ is king indeed. I looked him up the other day. Who is Joe Feltz? Suburban tool dad, real estate investors. He passed away. No, I don't have any thoughts. Maybe I didn't look that up. Roof of the building on which she was on. 107.33.
So that's going to be the timestamp for your stream, I think. 1 hour 7 in, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she's quoting it from the Woods video.
Well, I don't want to go back and find it now, but I'll go back and watch it afterwards.
Yeah, it'll be on your stream. But you'll have to go back, I guess, 3 minutes for the intro.
Yeah, I'll cut that out.
And our shenanigans earlier.
Yeah, it'll be more than 3 minutes because I had that sound issue. I had the issue where it dropped me. My B, thanks for giving us an honorary law degree every episode. Appreciate the breakdown yesterday. Christ is king indeed, of course. Pleasure's all mine. This month in Iceland, we're voting to join the EU. We could easily lose everything to mega corporations. Make you think why they were here. Rigging the vote. I got bad news for you. Baron, love your show. From your number one fan in Charlotte, Michigan. Pronounced Charlotte. Why is it pronounced Charlotte? Why? It's Charlotte. Charlotte. I'll allow it. From Peru, Indiana. From Arab, Alabama. I'm behind, but just a comment from earlier in the show. Why did PBD get to say no to an offer in July in the Hamptons, but Charlie didn't? I don't know. It's a good question. I think PBD should be forced to answer questions about who was there and what was offered. Nearly all court judges in Scotland are connected to a Masonic lodge, allegedly. And is this the same in America? Keep up the good work one day at a time. I don't think it's the same here. Conis fragile, not like a flower, but like dynamite. I don't know what that means. I believe you. We must trust in the Lord to protect Candace. Jesus is Lord and King. Love your show, Baron, and love Daisy as well. Well, thank you for those kind words. I appreciate that. I voted Trump 3 times. I'll never vote for either D or R parties ever again, but a Coleman Carlson ticket I can get behind. Christ is king indeed. Well, I don't think I'll be asked, especially after I said Erica was there. Where's the construction site in regard to today's map you showed? Love you guys. Go Max always. Jesus healed me of breast, endometrial, and lymph node cancer since October 2025. Christ is king indeed. Wow. I did not know that. That is fascinating. And I love hearing miracles like that. So thank you for sharing. I'm pulling up the map. I'm not ignoring you. So the construction site is next door to the gun. I'll show it to you here. I mean, right next door. So this orange marker is the alleged drop point. And this is the construction site right next door. Yeah. I intended to make that point earlier. I guess I didn't. Hey, again, Master B. Aaron. Baron. Please look at the driveway. House with excavator. Looks like an operation house with red truck is pushed against white moving truck, pushed against trash bin. Oh, we've looked at that carefully. Thank you. We've looked carefully on that on air. Flood FB pics of us in battle buns. Thank you for your episode yesterday. I enjoy every episode. Never missed one, but yesterday was exceptional. Thank you. Happy to be part of this high IQ outfit. Thank you. That's very kind. I think Smoke Boy finally realized Candace was making all the money, so he started crowdsourcing money. I mean, he offered to pay her the money. Well, if someone walks by your house and says, "Hey, I want to give you $100," and you're like, "What's the catch?" They're like, "Well, you have to stay in here and talk to me for 1 minute." Well, okay. Can I have my $100? Yeah, here's your $100. And then you sit there and talk to them from it. You've upheld your end of the bargain. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not an immoral person for taking the $100. You're not greedy. The guy offered it to you. Not like you asked him, I'll talk to you for a minute for $100. That would be a little greedy. Oh, no, the great debate will be at 1 a.m. Brisbane time. Well, rest up. You're going to need it. Thanks for all you do. Love your show. Oh, gosh, Stephanie, I love your comment. Thank you. Very kind of you. Can someone FOIA the Aussie Cops body cam charging and download data? I'm sure when it gets downloaded and recharged, it's recorded somewhere. I don't think he was there. He's like a high-end guy at somewhere else. He's that lead investigator. I encourage my wife, a stage 4 ovarian cancer survivor, to start her own podcast after seeing the awesome community you built here. She'll be encouraging others soon with her own testimony. I encourage people starting podcasts. I'm good for you for encouraging it. I'll get the party started for the pickle swear jar. All right. No, we're keeping it clean here, though. How long is the debate tomorrow? Do you know? I think they guaranteed a minimum of 3.5 hours, so buckle up. Buckle up. Tucker has a clip railing about being able to like whom he chooses, including Candace or EK. Strange timing. I agree with him. He can like anyone he wants. Daisy will never be a just Daisy. Daisy, you're not just Daisy. You're Daisy. 264, fired by Oswald, had magic bullets, 7 entry and exit points, but Charlie's neck stopped a 30-6. Make that make sense? That's a good point. That's a really good point. Thank you for not backing down. Keeping the torch lit and continuing to search for the truth. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate your comment. Thank you. Every time someone says pickle my Yorkie, Pickle, a.k.a. Ickle Pickle, looks at the screen. I'm very confused. Pickle. Yeah, pickle. You know they love. Sorry, Pickle. Won't happen again. Patsy in black walking downstairs from the parking lot is wearing motorcycle riding jeans with armor installed underneath the right leg only. In which picture? Walking down the stairs from the parking lot. Oh. I know what you're talking about. Sang that from the first time you said it. Oh, okay. Just a note of support. Thank you and Daisy for all you do. Stay safe. Keep going, Max. Fervent prayers for you both. Christ is King indeed. Philippians 1:3-6. Thank you. Appreciate that. Coach Collins showed Officer Tater Tot coming unglued about the clearer images of TR in the parking garage. Tater Tot also said, I love you, sis. Weird way of showing love. He is painful to listen to. He's not my style of podcasting. I'll give you that. I enjoyed you in the X Space. Remember ATV thing in the zoomed out video of guy jumping off roof? Looked like it might be there to assist. Yes, agreed. Yeah, I pointed that out on the show. KR found the same type of screwdriver in the UVU golf cart. Agreed. We talked about that as well. You got this, Esther. Yes, Esther. You've got it. I don't want to say don't let us down, but don't. Can you interview Daisy for a member show sometime? I think it would be fascinating. I can. Yeah, we can do that. You, Candace, and Tucker Carlson have become my homies. Could you text Candace and tell her to wear the all-black Janet Jackson look, please? That would slay. No, she's got people. Her people have people. They don't want to hear from me. Left coast conservative, retired cattle rancher, more of us than one would think. Just an FYI. I said it in jest, my good retired cattle ranching friend. I said it in jest, mostly. Wickles Pickles should have paid Candace the big bucks to set a jar of pickles front and center during the debate. Agreed. Maybe I'll take one over. I got extras. Maybe I'll take one over there. I'll throw it up there with the hat. Hope it doesn't break. Look on your porch. Nissy said, new video. EK says, Barry, like Candace. 854. What do you think? I did hear that, actually, now that you mention it. She did say Burry. I don't mess with people for their regional dialects. I'll give an example. A lot of people don't like the way certain black people say ask because they switch the K and the S. I don't care. I know what you're saying. Say whatever you want. You know, if that's how you grew up here in the word and that's how you say it. I mean, I know exactly what you're saying, so why am I going to complain about it? When Erica or Candace says Burry, is anyone confused what they mean by the word? No, that's probably how their grandfather or mother said it, and so they just heard it that way, and that's how they say it. My grandmother said Washington, and I have to go wash the clothes. Now, if I said wash, would people be like, there's no R in wash, he's an idiot? No, I mean, it's just a regional dialect. I don't have a problem with it. I'll wear we don't know, but we know it's my birthday, 71. Happy birthday, Granny Loves Jesus. 71 years. You should be proud. California actually has more conservatives than any other state. We are outnumbered, sure, but more than any other state is nothing to sneeze at. Love you, B. Yeah, but you got so many loon bats. You're just so outnumbered. So outnumbered. At this point, somebody needs to stage an intervention because I'm emotionally invested in a debate that has absolutely nothing to do with me. I've got snacks, opinions, and zero qualifications. Oh, you have qualifications. Go back and listen to my open. It's an American tradition. We love debates. We love debates more probably than any other country. For whatever reason, this is how we discuss things. We argue. Knowing Andrew's style, he's going to ruin the whole thing with his obsession with what words mean instead of actually debating. I would agree. I anticipate that could happen. What do you mean by that? Could you define? What does it mean to explode?
Have you ever been?
Have you ever been there? Have you been there? What do you mean by explode? You mean explode radially? Are we talking explode this way? Maybe this way? I need a description of explode. For the entry sparkler fund, 2 porch drop-off with bad guy hat. Oh, we're going to drop off sparklers too. We got the whole thing planned out, Candace. We've got your wardrobe. We've got your hair. Anybody want to go with lipstick or nail color? I mean, we'll get the whole thing done here. Sparklers entrance, pickles on the job. Candace, please. You just worry about debate prep. We'll take care of the set. We've got it. We've got you covered. Did you hear about the Catholic Bible Association selecting a Jewish feminist as its new president? They wouldn't choose a Catholic. Never heard of the Catholic Bible Association. I'm a little weirded out right now, if I'm being honest. Amy Jill Levine, elected first Jewish president of the Catholic Bible. I don't know anything about the Catholic Bible Association. Let me go to New Advent. They always, let's see. I don't see them talking about it. That's like the Catholic Drudge Report, newadvent.org. I don't see them talking about it. So I don't know. I've never heard of that organization. I would call it not a very influential organization. Watching while I wait for the Raiders to put Fernando in the game. I've got a national championship sign hanging up just off camera. National champion Hoosiers 2025. Just off camera. I should tilt my camera one day so you can see it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'll take a picture. Look how beautiful that is. See that? National champion, Hoosiers. Here. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. It's a thing. It's a thing. And it's brought to us by Fernando. Every time you say smoke boy, I think of hey pouch boy and giggle. That's not funny. It's kind of funny. And left coast is hilarious. P.S. I'm hoping for battle braids. Candace, we need a bun braid combo with a, what did we call that? A hair thing? We need it all, Candace. We need it all. What if she has different outfit changes? Like when he goes to smoke, she goes and changes outfits and comes in completely different. That would throw him for a loop. Be like, I didn't change anything. What are you talking about? No, I've always had on a blue shirt. I was wearing braids last time. What are you talking about? You need to get off those cigarettes, smoke boy. Messing with your head. New text and defense papers did sound possibly real, regular talking this time, but they could make sense if the timing they were sent when he was turning himself in. Could be. A follow-up to earlier super chat. Retirement is so boring, I enjoy your content. Well, thank you. I'm a cure to boredom, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think such a public debate is possible, Trap? Could the prosecution then argue that the jury pool is tampered? No. Bubba Baron, love you, B. But it is a smokehouse, not a steakhouse. Oh, sorry. Enjoy your family tomorrow. Enjoy your family tomorrow. Time is our most precious commodity. Indeed, it is. Hey, B, I'm so excited. I received my mint RBP hoodie today. I can't wait to wear it. I can't wait for you to wear it. They're comfy. My B, forgot to ask, do you think Candace should be more concerned about her safety as a result of this debate and having some of Smoke Boy's people at her house? Has she shared with you that she's taking extra precautions? If she did, I wouldn't talk about it anyway, but I don't think she's concerned. Hey, Baron, how credible do you think it was all staged narrative? Alex Jones seems to hold this view. No, I don't find that very credible. Baron, please tell me what happened to the stage riser Charlie Kirk was on. Was it there to contain residue? I don't know what happened to it. I hope it's in police evidence. Otherwise, they've fallen below the standard. Go listen to Joseph Scott Morgan. I thought his car was in the garage. It was the first time. Then he took it off campus. Allegedly parked it on the side of the road. Sir B, did you SR posted photo with Cardinal Burke? Did I see that? Yes, I did. I did see that. We got some jewels there. Air travel. Happy birthday to my baby son, Everett, serving in the Navy, stationed in Japan. Happy birthday, baby Everett. How could TR defense team be compromised or working against him? Never heard this explained. I don't necessarily buy that. You know, could it be possible? Sure, but I don't necessarily buy that. There's video from Ring Camera where he scampers down out of the dirt mound into the neighborhood across from Phil Lyman. Do you have the video? That's the video I was referencing. I do have that video. Yeah. You are doing great work, and I look forward to your podcast. Did you see the video of Frank jumping into the SUV and the person in the dark hoodie either jumping in or throwing something in back with Frank? So I did see that, and I have an opinion on that. I'm not sure I'm ready to give it yet. But it does look like someone tries to get in. I don't want to, say that because I'm not 100% confident yet. I want to watch the video super slow-mo. I want to upload it to editing software, go frame by frame, before I come to the conclusion that someone was trying to jump in the truck. But it does look to me like someone's trying to jump in the truck. Now, maybe when we slow it down and break it down frame by frame in editing software, we can figure out who that someone is. I don't know who that is. I didn't see a hoodie, though. It looked like short hair to me, but I'm subject to being wrong there as well. But I'm telling you, it did look like someone was trying to jump in back there. Now, who was it? What did they make it in? I don't know. How could TR defense be compromised? A huge sticking point for slop believers. Please address this. It's not worth addressing because it's irrelevant to the story. It doesn't matter. Because I don't think it matters at this point whether the defense is compromised. They could be doing a very good job and he could still be a patsy. So it's irrelevant. Mark my word, Tyler's going to plead guilty very soon for a sweet deal. That's the only way to get everyone to stop asking questions. Imagine what they will give him and his family. If he pleads for anything less than life without parole, then it's a dead giveaway that this is a patsy job. So I don't anticipate a sweet deal. Candace accepts debate proposal. Smoke Boy takes long drag from cigarette. Oh, can you imagine what his... I just can't imagine. He probably called that guy back and like, you're still good for the hundo? He's like, no, that was to be on my platform. Fitty. I said that my platform. Maybe a 20. No. Can you throw me a Hamilton? I mean, give me $10. Give me something. Candace should walk in like Drewski. She better do it. She better go in there and be like, your Smoke Boy impersonation sounds like Brain from Pinky and the Brain or Stewie from Family Guy. Love you mucho. Christ is king indeed. I did not know that. My B, when talking about Candace debate fit, you gave Tom Bodette vibes. We'll leave the light on for you. Christ is king. Love you and Daisy too. I can't remember who it was, but there was someone... Mrs. Coleman and I used to joke. It was someone on TV, I think, or maybe the radio. But we thought he sounded exactly like Tom Bodette. And every time we came on, he was like, there's Tom Bodette. It was somebody that did an advertisement, maybe a radio ad. And every time he came on, we were like, there's Tom Bodette. I swear it sounded just like him. But I can't remember who it was. Candace should wear a maroon T-shirt and shorts. Christ is king indeed. I agree. Anything except a battle bun falls below the standard. Mr. Morgan, would that fall below the standard? Kenny's cousin T will have her back and eyes out. My hunch. This is an attempt to get her emotional, hoping she will say something to use for defamation lawsuit. Wilson was saying that Candace was attacking EK, and it seems that's his intent for this. Yeah. I mean, he's going to ask her point blank, did Eric have anything to do with this? And he's probably going to read a list of things Candace has said and said, do you still believe this? If he doesn't, he didn't do his prep. And so I anticipate it. And Candace will have to answer it. And I think she's an honest actor, so I think she'll answer it honestly. But having an opinion is still allowed in these United States. As much as they try to take that away from us, it is still very much allowed. Have you looked at your map for an evacuation from the hospital? I have. I saw none. I wish I'd seen something, but I've seen none. Guys, what I have seen is the end of the program. If you like the program, by all means, please give it a like. It does help. YouTube, their new algorithm changes only. They don't really look at views anymore. They only look at people that interact. So comments, once we post the video, comments help, likes help. I'm not asking you to do that for the purpose of the algorithm. I'm just letting you know how it works. But it does help. So if you've enjoyed the program, by all means, hit the like button. I'm not begging you to or anything, but please, if you have, it helps. I will not be back tomorrow in all likelihood. If I do any coverage afterwards, it'll be on someone else's platform. Probably would jump on with Trigger Smart and that crew, but I don't know for sure whether I'll do that or not. I'll just see how the day goes, like what the family has planned, what we've got going on. I really do need just a day to spend with everybody, especially with my son leaving in a couple days. So I doubt I'll do that, but I leave myself open to it. If they're all leaving and going to the pool or something and I'm not going, then I'm probably jump on with them, because why not? But if I've got the opportunity to spend time with family, I'll do that instead. But I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a long week. Tomorrow's the big day. Buckle up. Get a good night's sleep. Eat a lot of protein. We're going to need your best observing behavior. If you're going to wear a battle bun or braids, I think it would be fun to post it to her social media. That would be fun. Jesus loves you. It's true. It's true. Can't get away from that fact. It will always happen. It'll always be there, right in the back of your mind. You should always know that. Jesus loves you. Have a wonderful night. I will see you guys Sunday night. I'll be back Sunday night, probably 5-ish, 6-ish, somewhere in there. But Sunday night for the regular live show. Good luck, everybody. Get your popcorn ready. We're going to have a big day tomorrow. See you guys.